Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the end of the pit lane. My name is Evil Dragon XXL, and welcome back to a very slightly soggy Sakitto here in the middle of Discount Japan on a discount circuit because they didn't have the real one yet. But welcome to what is a 3.5 minute wait because we're waiting for it to get wet enough for everyone to get on the circuit because it's not wet enough yet. It's normally the opposite, but it's the opposite here. We want it to be wet, and this is why everyone's waiting. Joining me today, as you saw, we've got fancy graphics, is my GT3 commentator gal here. It is the one and only, it's Jess. Say hello, Jess.
Good evening, everybody. This is my first PS4 Project Cars 2 broadcast. As some of you may know, I used to do Xbox, and I've migrated over to PS4 for good now, so you can confirm me later. And Metro, we've given him the night off. He's not feeling great tonight, so that's why you got me. I'm not doing the cameras, Evil's doing the cameras again, so Evil's doing his usual job. It's just I'm swapping places with Metro tonight, and it should be a good one.
Indeed it shall. Well, Jazzman, who, rather dominated the last race, is looking to make it 2 in a row here today. He needs a championship, of course, as well, so we'll go through the championship standings later on. But Jess, first time commentating on the PS4, a full lobby. You who commentated Xbox, didn't normally see 16 people, did you?
No, we didn't. I think we only got like 13 or 14, and sometimes we only had 8. So this is great. But these drivers are so committed; they really want to do this, and it's a really long race, so they really got to get their head down in this tough rain around this circuit. And I think everyone's gone into the pits now. I don't know, some people are going into the pits now, actually.
Yeah, got quite a few of them waiting down the end of the pit lane. I was speaking to VSR Thomas Ethan, of course, who we don't know has been disqualified from the last race and banned from setting qualification due to an infringement last race. But of course, that always happens. We'll move forward from that. So he'll be sitting there, probably just wondering what he can do in the race. He's got a quick car. He was quickest earlier on in practice. So he's hoping for a very good showing indeed. But anything can happen around it. It's Suzuka. Well, it's not really Suzuka, but we're going to say it's Suzuka for easiness. Of course, Sakitto Suzuka, it's very much similar. The only thing that's different is there's no hairpin and a few corners go the other way. But relatively, Jess, it's a very similar layout. Very quick, very technical. And it could really shake up this entire field.
Definitely, and one of the changes is the position of the Ferris wheel, which is near to the dead end of curves. That's changed, and there's no Casio triangle there, Evil, like in real Suzuka. And there's a very modified S section, and there's also a road that passes through the real life location of the Ferris wheel, and no hairpin either. So a lot of changes, a lot for people to get used to. But these guys, a lot of these guys have raced in GT3 recently. No, not GT3, Clio, I mean. So I'm sure they'll probably get used to it already, most of these guys. In particularly Jazzman. I'm actually going to go... Yeah. I need to actually find a scene where we go live. There we go. We're riding on board with Jazzman now, and he's a familiar face to the league. So he should be familiar with this circuit, shouldn't he, Evil?
Yeah, he certainly could. Coming up through Dunlop is that is Tinnis disconnecting there. He's been having some trouble recently with connecting up through what it is Dunlop curve into this long flowing left-hander into the double right-hander. These are the Degner corners. Easy to make a mistake there. I've flipped there a few times in previous games through Degner too. Then under the bridge. Now this is where you take his little right here, down towards the other part of the circuit. But of course, there's no hairpin, so you go flying left up the hill, over the crest, and then back down towards Spoon. What's your braking zone around here as well, especially in the rain? It's going to be very easy to lock a brake and snag and go straight on. He does Spoon relatively easily. Just let the car roll out on the exit, about 130 kilometers an hour. Then build the speed up, then down toward it is 130 up. This is probably my favourite section on any circuit. Look at the sun as well in the distance, blaring through the sky there. A little bit of rain. There you can see the Ferris on the left. Blink and you'll miss it here at over 270 kilometers an hour. You chuck it in there. The car wants to go on you there, and if you go, you're going big. Through the last corner, and that's where the chicane would be. Flat through here. The pit lane will be there on the right. You'll have to slow down for that then, and then across the line. And that there is going to be a very short lap as well. It's only around about 1 minute 20s, if I'm not too mistaken, around this circuit. And it is around about, I think, 2 to 3 miles long.
Yeah, indeed. I think that was his outlap evil, I think, for most of it. So he's got, this is his first fly now, so I expect him to go a little bit faster, I think, towards the start of this. So he's going to be the one to beat. He's actually leading the championship standings right now after his win 2 weeks ago, because don't forget, we don't run every week, we run every 2 weeks in the endurance leagues to give the drivers a bit of a break at times. And then we've got I need to get my notes on who's who, because the PSN is different to some of them until their AOR names. There we go. So we've got Jazzman in first, and we've got Jetix in second, Tinnis in third in the standings, and Jam in fourth place. And then we've got Matthew. Is it Matthew? Rubbish at names, evil. Asbrick. Okay. In fifth, Ezra in sixth, Racing at Home in seventh, Slicker in 8th, Win in 9th, and we've got Asri in 10th, Jerome 11th, Chris 12th, Gio 13th, Fabio 14th, Odie 15th, and then obviously VSR Rotary. He got disqualified from the session 3 weeks ago, so he's on the back foot, but surely he's going to see what the other guys do and see if he can climb his way up the field. It's Jazzman crossed the line. Is it what lap time he goes set? Is he going to be enough for pole at the moment? It is enough for pole. 134.6 evil.
Yep, first to set a representative lap time. It was the first really at the end of the pit lane, so everyone else will be setting other lap times. So I say that Racing at Home goes quicker then by 37 1,000 of a second. So 37,000 between the top two so far in qualifying. Slicker already in third, then comes Rome in fourth then. We're coming, look, there's I think one of the new drivers, that's Lavaik there in sixth, so he's new to the league there. We've got a Racy who's going spinning through turn one. Be careful there as one of the black cards comes through. I'm not sure who that is. Derry McCoy, who hopefully this week is a bit better than last week. He was about 15 minutes off the pace last week, but credit where credit due, he finished the race. He's so far in ninth. Let's see what he can do around this treacherous circuit. He's been putting in a lot of practice recently as well, just trying to get the car all hooked up around. Well, it's going to be a very difficult afternoon potentially. He's only allowed me 6 seconds off the pace so far, but remember that might just be in his outlap so far. Chris in the Activision livery down there through Degner 1 and 2 next to Dunlop, and there you can see one of the redder cars. I believe that might be the car of Jetix potentially. No, it's not. It's the other car there. Jetix there so far to set a lap time in 13th. We've got Matt, who invalidated his lap time last time out, so that's why he's 15th. But Ethan, of course, not able to set a qualifying time. Let's see, Jasmine across the line. Can he improve? The answer to that is going to be a grand total. I would not be surprised if he goes to smash his list.
Wow.
The answer is he does go and smash it by 5/10 of a second. Does Racing at Home come and respond? No, we know he's quick sometimes in the wet. The answer to that is no, he does not. And the back to the pit then straight away.
No, he improves though. P2.
Slicker across the line. Where does he go? Racing Home, look, he does get a penalty. Slicker up to third then, so that's a penalty for Racing Home. That'll be a one-place grid penalty, if I believe. Yeah, one-place grid penalty speeding in the pit lane. You want to be doing that when you're so far up the grid, do you?
No, you don't. If you can't get a grid penalty at this early stage, because obviously 2 hours is a long time. It's going to be, if you're many laps down at the start of the race, that's going to put you on the downer pretty much early on as well, and it'll be too hard to catch up unless someone else has a bad race so far. So, but you know, these guys are quick, so I'm sure they would bounce back and see if they could do like a what people have done in the past in endurance races in real life. Is
Go
Duran is hitting the wall and he's in the pit lane, and he's gonna have to set another lap. We only got 9 minutes left, Evil, to do that. Jam is on the lap right now, I believe. He's on 5.9 litres of fuel, so I'm sure he's on a flyer at the moment.
Yeah, like I said, Jess, earlier on, Degner 2 and Degner 1, very little devious things. If you get on that curve on the outside, you can just see there as Jamie does so. You see a little wiggle on the course, and these LMP2 cars, very easy to suddenly snag the car, and if it wants to go, it will very much go. As in the rain as well, because puddles do form. Speaking to Jazzman earlier on as well, as Ethan, as some other drivers pointed out, wait to the end of the race, and especially through towards Dunlop, so the end of the S's, that you can see on the minimap where one car's coming through before that long flowing left-hand up. You'll see a lot of puddles form down there, especially as well outside Degner 2. So, watch out for complaining later on in the race as Tinnis manages to rejoin. So, it looks like he reset his router. So, potentially not going to be setting a qualifying lap there. Though he's got 8 minutes, so he might just be safe jamming through the last corner. Blistering speed, over 270 kilometers an hour, give or take. Down to the line. Fantastic corner, by the way, like it used to be in the 1960s when the circuit was originated, of course. And jamming so far, 5th position, does improve 16/100ths of a second. But so far it's Jazzman up front then. The man to beat this season, a little bit of lag for him, but that should be fine. He's ahead of Slicker now then, who is in 2nd position, which is a fantastic qualifying, I must say, from the driver who's been struggling throughout the season. We've Strategies as well in 4th. It's only, 29 thousandths of a second, give or take, behind Slicker, so we've got to be close between those guys. And then we've got this little bit of spread, of course. We've got Essa, Jam, Jet, Matt as well. They're all very close together. Then we've got the car, as that is Tinnis rejoining that. So apologies for the small lag. Then we've got the new driver of Devil. Devil. We're going to call him Devil then. Evil with a D. Sorry, Devil 666 is in the lobby, so let's hope nothing comes of that.
It is not Vetro 666, before you ask.
It's not Vector, it's Devil 666. It's Rome then, still in 10th position. He's ahead of the other new driver of Lavi then, as far as I believe is a racer who was rather ditching our cameras out last week, because every time we wanted to cut someone else, a racer just nicked our cameras. And of course, the Mexican livery, as I was pointed out, it's Mexican, not Italian, as I inaccurately called last week, forgetting the Italian flag doesn't have that on the side of it. So sorry to Mexico for last week, but we'll see what happens today. Well, Tinnis has got in the server at least in the beautiful lime green racing machine, so that is good. Hopefully he stays connected throughout Max 1. But Jess, you've got to look at the race. It's 2 hours. And as Ethan said, it's going to be about just picking them off one by one. So where do you think he can get? He said he could get a podium tonight.
It is doable for Ethan. He's the one who likes to climb lower down the field and then get back to podium position. But he can't afford to make many mistakes. He made a lot of mistakes in Catalonia, which is what costed him his disqualification for the last race. So he's got to make head or tail of it tonight. But surely he's going to be an advantage at the back, because there's going to be people that might be ahead of him, might make mistakes, and he can pull away a little bit. And then he could try and gain some positions as well. Tinnis, I think I can see, do well as well. At the moment, he's the one who hasn't set a lap time just yet, but I'm sure he'll set a lap time pretty soon as well. Jazzman is setting another lap time. Guns are blazing for the driver. And it's not much visibility around here in the rain, so you've got to really get your nose in. As Jazzman across the line, does he improve? Yes, he does by 60,000 of a second. And that still puts him on pole. 3/10 behind Jetix, I believe, Evil.
Jetix in 2nd position. He jumped over there racing at home. Good qualifying for him. And really, right now, the track's apparently getting wetter. But the times are dropping. Though I'd say that Jetix's last lap is 45 seconds down. That's because he came in the pit lane, I presume. That car ahead, if I'm not mistaken, is that Tinnis? He's Tinnis right ahead of him there.
Oh my word.
Jetix. I think he lost the rear end there. That's a very weird place to lose the car. So he must have got out on the curb and lost the rear. So luckily for poor old Tinnis, he hasn't wiped out there, because he needs to set a lap time. and he's only got 4 minutes to go. So let's see what he can do. He's coming through Spoon. He's got one of the cars ahead of him. That might be a racing just up the road potentially, I believe. Let's see, is it a racing? It is a racing then. In the other car, in the Mexican team CDMX livery. And Tennis, of course, driving the beautiful, what I like to call the Lime Racing Machine, though I will one day get the actual team names right. But right now, I'm calling it the Lime Racing Machine because it's beautiful. Through the last corner, flat out, he's getting a nice tow off the car ahead. You get right out of the way in the last moment. Remember, that pit lane is going to be very treacherous and dangerous in the race because they basically stop on the racing line. To this way, as he go, 8th position so far. That's disappointing for him, I imagine.
Yeah, well, I think so, because we would expect him to match Jazzman and Jetix up front. So he's got one more lap. So it's kind of like one shot for him, really, to get him close to his Jazzman as he possibly can. Because Jazzman is his rival in most other leagues. So he's not going to like that Jazzman is way up the order than him at the moment.
Indeed. Well, let's see what happens in a little bit time. There's looking at your comments, Michael. In the chat, our COD, our super COD, if I'm not mistaken, but one of them at least. One of the many super CODs we have so far there, as we're looking at Tinnis so far, P8. Jetix still in P2. Slicker Room Stratus in the pit lane. Looks like their qualification is going to be very much over, unless they're coming out now, which I do not see any of them coming out. They've got just over a little bit to go, but really you want to be getting out ASAP. S up through the S's, then up towards Dunlop we come. That's the corner, remember, as before, that's where the puddles are going to start forming. So, remember, if it's going to be raining, it's pouring around Suzuka, and when it pours, there's lots of puddles. As you'd imagine, they can see another one there starting to form through Degner too. You can see the giant puddle there. These puddles, Jess, of course, for this live of a 3.0, can very much form into what I like to call the very big lake.
Yeah, well, I think so. Raining around Project Cars 2 is really, really hard due to the fact a lot of people just were playing everywhere. I've noticed there in a few races I've commentated in GT3 in the past as well, and yeah, I might notice the same here as well. And obviously the first race we experienced in the dark, but the second race we're actually going to see some more light at the moment, as Jetix has gone fastest with a 133.912, beating Jazzman by 1/10 of a second. And Jazzman, he's not going at all, so he's got to make a move on if he wants to get pole. No.
He can't get out, so he's stuck. So Jetix, so far prison of pole position. Matt, meanwhile, improves up to P4 in the other car then, the team car to Jazzman. Tunisler still in 5th position. Esser in 6th so far then. A good qualifying for him. He's ahead of Jamie in 7th.
Oh!
That's Derry McCoy in all the wrong positions in qualifying, and I'm afraid to say that is not what you want to be doing in qualifying, Derry. Look, fair play to you. You are now improving. You're in 10th position there, but spun the car, and really you want to be getting out of the way there. But unfortunately, he could do nothing there. And down the back, we've got Lavi and Racy in 14th and 15th position so far.
Yeah, that's already put him at a disadvantage, the ones who went for a spin, so he's not going to go into the pit, set a final lap. The only one that are on the final lap at the moment is Essa racing at home, and Tinnis and the guy in 14th, which I forgot his name because I'm not... Lavin. There we go, those are the people on the lap, but Tinnis is on the lap now. Is he going to be good enough to get up the top of the field? He's going to have one more chance to have one more lap. He's improved to 3rd. That's more like it from Tinnis. That is more like it from Tinnis, but not enough to beat Jazzman. But my oh my evil, that's going to be some interesting rivalry between those two.
Yeah, the two rivals in GT3 as well, with Jazz, of course, who doesn't do the LMP2 season. But, of course, Tinnis and Jazzman, very fond racing drivers. They battle each other hard. They've had contact before. There's a little bit of a rivalry there. Racing at home, though, so far in 4th position. Very close to that inside wall, I must say. In the Susan G. Coleman livery, I must say as well. Does he improve? No, he does not. And I believe that is the end of qualifying for him, unless he got one just at the end. He might have S's backed off his lap. So what about Lavi and his other car, Racy then? Lavi comes to the line. Lava, I might say nearly, but Lava comes to the line, and let's see what he can do. He stays 14th position. What about a Racy then in the back of the field? Of course, let's see what he can do. 15th so far. Can he improve at all? The answer to that is yes, up to 10th position so far. And I think racing at home, no, he did not get enough lap time. So Jetix on pole position ahead of Jazzman. Tinnis ahead of Racing at home. as well, who of course will drop down behind Matt. So it'll be Matt then racing at home. Flicker with Stratus, Essa, Jam, Racing. Chris ahead of Derry McCoy there in that qualifying battle there. And we'll give you the official rundown as well again there. So Jetix a fine pole position there by 1/10 of a second. Jazzman in second. Tinnis in third. Racing at home will start fifth with Matt jumping up to fourth. Slicker, Wimstratus, Essa, then comes Jam Racing. Derry McCoy will start in 12th, so Chris and Derry will switch. Diva will start in 13th, Jerome in 14th, Lava in 15th, and Ethan, of course, disqualified from the session last time and banned from qualifying, has it all to work for the man who is looking for his first race victory in a full season in AOR.
Yep, he's running, was it, he won in Le Mans, wasn't it?
Yeah, he won these 2.4 hours of Le Mans, but has not won an official sanctioned season race, of course, in the main seasons. He's run in the Fiddle Leagues, but he's yet to take that crucial victory, whilst his closest real allies, Mr. Of course, VSR Wolfman and Skull 1808, have both taken 2 to 3 victories so far. So it's a surprise, really, because those two look up to Ethan as an inspirational driver, yet it's Ethan who has not scored a victory, and he's going to have it all to work for around a circuit which indeed Free Wolf won at, as well in a fascinating fashion.
Yep, I forgot who won in Clio last time about, but it was obviously Ethan was in the commentary box rather than racing it tonight, so he is going to be the one probably to watch as well, but I've got quite a few people to watch, but the standings have gone off my screen. So, but I would say Jetix, I wasn't expecting him to get pole. I thought he was going to get second or third or something like that. But he's already on pole, and I could see him being a championship contender, someone to watch out for. Tinnis as well, and also Matt's as well, P4. Really good qualifying session from him, as he's going to challenge. And he's on a good position on the track as well, so surely he's going to gain some position as well. Derry McCoy, he is way down below at the moment, but I'm sure that he is going to try and get some overtakes done as soon as he can.
Yeah, I'm incredibly impressed, though. To Derry, he's for how struggling he was last week. Yes, he's spun in qualifying, but who doesn't? We've seen everyone spin, but a massive improvement. He's jumping up the field bit by bit. He was last position last time out. Now he's 12th, so he's slowly improving there. So good to see around a circuit which is more difficult than I said in Spain, of course, because it's in the rain. So he's done an absolutely incredible job indeed. But yeah, Jetix starting on pole position. Of course, anything can happen, and it usually will. Jazzman headed Tinnis, Matt racing at home. Then comes Slicker with Stratus there in 7th. Essa headed Jan Racing. Chris, Derry McCoy. Then comes Devil. Down the back Jerome, Lavi and Ethan. And let's get ready for that formation. So wait 5 seconds, and they'll be rolling one by one off that grid there. 2, 1, and now they should be rolling just now. There they go. Off they go then for their formation lap, which should be around about 120 kilometers an hour. Of course, so I believe that's around about, what, it's 180 miles an hour-ish?
80, 80, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't
80.
done this in ages. I had to get used to the formation lap quite a bit, actually, because obviously I only got told this afternoon that I was filling in, so I had to do a bit of research there. But yeah, it's 80 miles an hour.
Well, Jetix will lead this field around ahead of Jazzman, who did win in the close, actually, on Wednesday in usual dominating fashion, as he usually does in those clear cups. We don't talk about what else happened in that race because it was streamed. So there was many dramas, and about half the field had a monstrous accident on that one. Might show that someday on my Twitter, so do look at that sometime. I might post it if I still got it, but lots of drama, lots of accidents. But never mind that, as we go past the beautiful Ferris wheel in the background there, of course, broomed in all those millions of lights, which look beautiful when nighttime, but of course this is in the bright of day, the early mornings at least as well. Look out for Jasmine. He'll be expecting to come through really early on the couple of laps, so see what he can do. Tinnis as well. He'll be challenging Jasmine throughout the entire race. He had an accident last week, of course, well, 2 weeks ago, which cost him that real chance of a podium. So did Ethan, and that of course didn't allow Jetix to get that podium as well. So anything can happen. Now, just look out for the opening couple of laps as well. Remember, it's at its driest right now, so these tyres are not going to be at operating temperature, operating fit. The cars are going to feel very second hand for the first about half an hour of the race.
Yep, so this is something to keep our close eye as we get towards that part of the race, as well as we're getting close to the start of the race, as everyone is going into formation now, and I will let you take the start, Evil, like you usually do.
Alright, thank you indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and children of all ages, are we going to see sunshine? Well, we're going to see rain, that's for certain, because it's raining on the circuit, but are we going to see happiness and things for Jetix, or is Jazzman going to run away again? As we get ready then through the last couple of corners, through the last corner we come then. Jazzman, he's got a chance here today of extending that championship lead, but can Jetix somehow make a surprise and a shock? And what can the rest of the field do, especially even down the back? Because we are racing in just a few seconds, and now I believe we're underway then to Jetix gets the start on then. Very a bad start, I must say, for Jazzman behind, but everyone running down through turn number 1 then as he comes towards it. Jetix lead ahead of Jazzman, then comes the rest of the field, everyone cleaner, it looks like, through turn number 1 then. It does seem so that everyone has got away though. 1-2 cars off there. That's Esther going wide in the background there. In the black car, Ethan already up 2-3 positions already from the back of the grid. So good start there for him. 1 car wide through turn 1 as well. That was Esther. And someone else knocked one of the bollards off. But good stuff from Jetix. Good stuff from Jasmine. Then Tinnis as well up to third. Then comes Matt ahead of Racing at Home. Then comes the cars of Slicker, Wim, Jam, Racing. Then Chris. And the rest of the field slotting in behind. 1 car wide there. That's a Racing going wide, I believe that it was. And I think he's spun as well, potentially. There's a Racing. Where is he? He's 14th now. Down the back of the grid. But small mistakes at the beginning of this race, Jazz.
Yeah, and that's what you expect, because obviously it is raining and not used to the wet conditions more than the dries, and the braking points, they've got to brake a lot much earlier than obviously in the dry, as Jam is right on the back of Wim, I think it is, and then we've got Racing at Home battling quite nicely as well. But the gap at the front, Jetix is starting to pull away from Jazzman, so this is very key right now. But he's got a penalty at the moment, so that's only 1 second, but that could affect the race. But we did see a few weeks ago that the gaps were a lot. I was quite shocked actually. So yeah, we might see the same again. But it is a long race. If people make mistakes now, they don't need to worry. Maybe they can recover towards the end of the race. As we got a Resi, he's making up for lost trouble. Jerome is on the back of him. He's going to go side by side into turn number 1. Is he going to try and squeeze him a little bit? And he gets the move done. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's a mistake. And he's hit the a reference point for some of the drivers for brake markers. So that didn't really help us. Ethan is already up into 13th place. He's looking to gain another one, and possibly gain into 12th place. We're riding on board with him now as he's looking up for lost time, as he's had one of the best starts I've seen in the world from him at the moment. We've got Chris in 12th place. He's going to try and defend for his life at the moment, Evil.
Yeah, I don't think he's not going to put too much of a fight up. Of course, Ethan, one of the quickest drivers in LMP2, and he's getting all caught out there. 1 car wide, that'll be another position for him. He's really just capitalising on people's mistakes, like he said. And I think that's a racer, that's Derry McCoy up the road. And Ethan, of course, is going to be wary of that one. I think Labby's just sitting behind there. I thought it was getting a bit too close there to come, because I thought Ethan ran wider, trying to give a bit of room, but no, just a little bit of the line taking through there. But of course, look at the gap already, because on this little group there, led by Jerome, and a bit of a gap was about 3 seconds down to the rest of the field, Jess. So already a small gap starting to form between really is the B back and the C pack right now, because of course the top guys are starting to pull away as well.
Yep, it's like the midfield battles we've seen in other leagues as well, which is really great to see. And Tinnis, he might be a bit worried with himself, because he thought he was going to catch up to Jazzman, and he hasn't. He's got Racing at Home trying to catch up to him too, so he's got to get a move on soon, because otherwise Racing at Home could really start to catch up to him like a flash, as the field is starting to pull away just a little bit, but the midfield are still fighting like a hawk as we go on to, I think it's lap 4. Yeah, lap 4. I do see it. I'm not reading very well here, but anyway, Rotary in 11th place, and he's about to get 10th soon if he can catch up pretty soon as well. But we got Chris He's right on the back. We almost got like a double overtake coming up as well, maybe, but obviously not. He's going side by side. Oh, it's very, very tight to get an overtake done here.
Now, Larry trying around the outside. Won't really do around the outside there, and he's looking feisty on the back of Chris right now. He's got himself a penalty there. Oh, one car off. Who's that? There's 2 cars off. That's Jerome off the road. Yeah, it's Jerome off the road as well. That was Chris going wide as he's breaking our camera, Jess, and that'd be $5 in my opinion there. He's running over. That's not very nice of him, but of course these cameras are easily replaceable in the world of sim racing. They can be mended like a click because no one can damage them. That Derry McCoy still in 9th position. He's doing well so far. He hasn't spun yet. I'm not going to curse him this time, hopefully, but Ethan out already up to the top 10 there in the background. That is Jerome running wide a little bit, and it'll be his teammate, if I'm not mistaken, is that. That's the Activision car. Having got the inside is 130. Back on! Oh no! It's happened there, and that was always going to happen down the straight. Chris into the side of Jerome, and you could see, oh my god! And horrible accident there. And that there is a simply horrible shunt. And that's Chris pulling across the racing line and 2 cars into him. That's Chris, Jerome as well. And I think that might have been someone else. I'm not too sure who that was, but that was a sickening thud.
Oh, and there's another shot again.
Still going at it down the back, and Chris has lost the rear wing and hit. And I'm absolutely lost for words. And what on earth has happened there? But Chris, can he get himself in the pit lane? That is going to be a lengthy repair, but the rear suspension, luckily, somehow the tyre is staying off. But that is not what you want to do as Jerome as well. And that is basically the worst thing you want to do at the start of a race.
Yeah, definitely. And the 2 teammates, the 2 Ligiers, not having the best of starts, but that's not going to affect on what's going on for the rest of the race. Ethan is really chasing down the car in 9th place at the moment to see if he can make up for lost time, or a little bit wide in that car, but Ethan has taken advantage of saying thank you very much, see you later. He's got P9, but for how much longer as we're going up the hill into the start finish straight? Derry has gained 6 tenths on that lap so far, so he's really starting to push on Ethan right now. Let's see if he can try and make a name for it.
No, I don't think he will, Jess.
No,
he's not a bit too far back, because Ethan, I think he got rather out there by the slow-moving car all of a sudden through the last corner, well, through that corner, and already you can see those 2 already been almost lapped by the entire field. Devil, I think, had to avoid accidents as well as a race who I think was involved in that, and S as well, they've all backed off due to that mistake. So already those lot pull themselves out of real bit of disadvantage, but that was a sickening fun. Luckily, of course, in sim racing, no injuries there, but that's just a simply horrible accident, pulled right out of the racing line and just slammed straight into the rear. And it's really just something you don't want to see. And Jerome is already exiting the pit lane, actually on topic. So at least I've got the car fixed. But I think Chris, who end-overed itself there, went end over end, very much out of contention right now.
Yeah, which is a bit of a shame, but you don't get points for not finishing, really, because if Chris finishes, it's still going to be quite decent for him. So as long as he can keep his foot down, he should be all right. Meanwhile, up the front, Jazzman has gained so much time on Jetix in the last few laps, where this is a machine that Jazzman is doing at the moment. He must be really comfortable with his setup at the moment. Now 4 tenths, potentially 3 tenths going on the straight pretty soon. Yes, it is. There's spray coming on the back of Jetix's car. Sorry, my voice is going. I've got a bit of a cold this week, but I'm still going here at the moment. As we're going through turn 1, no, Jazzman is staying behind for now, but Jetix has been given a wake-up call. He's got to start defending soon, Evil.
Yeah, he's going to have to start defending, of course. Anything he can do, Jazzman probably can try and do better. Oh, he's made a mistake, and straight through on the queue, and he spun off the road. He's lost it. Just when I said anything I could do, can he defend? Well, he's gone off, and that there is not what he wanted to do. Cracks under pressure, went wide on the curbs, and Jazzman straight through into the lead here in Sakitto, here in Japan, and that is released them and released Tinnitus as well. And poor old Jetix, just when I said can he defend, well, no, he can't. because I've cursed him, haven't I, Jess? Again, it's happened.
Typical evil. I always end up in the commentary box with you and you somehow curse these drivers. What are you on about? Can you just stop, please? Only joking. It's not us anyway, but Jetix. Yeah. Jetix he was having a really good race. He was like a few seconds behind Jazzman, and then he just started to make mistakes, and which is a bit of a shame now. And we could see Matt, who's behind Jetix now, really start to find some form if Jetix carries on the way he does as well. We got Wim's doing quite well at the moment in 7th. He's going to try and chase Jam for 6th place at the moment. He's about 5 tenths behind Jam at the moment, so looking pretty decent up there. And they're still on pretty decent amounts of fuel that's going to last for about, I think it's, how many litres per lap, Evil?
I think it's around about 2.5 litres. We'll have to pit once in this race. I expect it around about the 1 hour mark. They should come in, give or take. Some, of course, might try and do a 2-stop strategy, but I do not expect that to do. When Stratus had a little look through turn number 1, but decided to back off. Now, look who's getting close together. It's Rotary and Racing at Home. Those two came together last week, of course, if you watched the stream and remember. Ethan was not very pleased with Racing at Home's defending, and that ended up in some contact later in the race that, of course, we did not capture. It stopped Ethan that disqualification from the race, and of course, as well, the next one, that's when Stratus going wide and getting all in the wrong place there. And he's going wide again. Is he letting him through? I think he is going a bit slowly there. Has he got damage? I'm wondering. As Ethan comes through as well. And that looks to be like an issue there from Wim, because that was very slow indeed. And struggling to get himself back at the pace, but of course, he's letting his teammate through as well.
Yeah, which I think is meaningful. I think it's not just a driver sport, it's also a team sport as well, because obviously team constructors are on the line as well. So he's done the right thing there, and that is allowing Ethan to really push on in this race, because the more positions he gains now, the better he's going to be towards the end of the race. And he's losing a bit of time now, but surely if he gains time on the car, I think the car in front of him is Racing at Home.
Yes.
So they've been racing together quite a bit actually in the league. So this should be interesting between the two of them. The gaps are starting to increase, Evil, again. So, you know, this is probably a running trend in Season 5 of Endurance League for PS4. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. We have seen some surprises like we saw a few weeks ago when we were in Catalonia, of course. And Jazzman is looking quite comfortable at the front.
Yeah, he's coming up. That's Chris you're under. You can see the head close to the car involved in that simply horrendous start line crash, which I'm going to have to put on a little look later on, a little bit highlight, as you can see the puddle starting to form there. So far, Jazzman leads this race ahead of his good old rival Tinnis, who's leads 2, very consistent. Look at them already pulling ahead. So Jetix now is, I think, 35-2, so he's setting quicker lap times than the rest of the field, but inconsistently. We're looking down the field, we're waiting for what Ethan could do. He was actually, racing at home. Fun. And it must have gone in the car there. Doesn't look like Ethan's got damage on board. We go over them as we're looking through the field there. So Ethan now ahead of Racing Home. So it looks like he got on the curb, spun the car. Did look like it. Does he look like he's got damage? Doesn't.
No, Racing at Home and Ethan were a little bit further apart, I think, than we thought. So I think Ethan is fine. Racing at Home though is not.
Racing meanwhile catching Larry down there in the battle for the bronze spoon, I might say, because the golden spoon right now is poor old Chris, who is now getting himself lapped by the race leaders. He must be careful, of course, that's Jazzman. He should pull to the inside sooner rather than later, but there's not really any place he can come through right now. And it's the awkward situation about this circuit is, where do you let someone through?
Yeah, I find it hard around this circuit to try and let people through, to be honest.
That is not the place to let them through, but they get through in time. Jazzman, who's very aware on a circuit like this, saw that coming very early, because that's the place. Racing Home's got damage, so I'm wondering, he must have hit the wall very heavily then. So now to go top the car up with Phil, that will be a 2-stop strategy there for him. That's Chris now getting himself lapped by the next car, and that'll be Tinnis to come through as well. This is probably a bit more of a better location to get lapped, I suppose, Jess, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. If you want to overtake, on the straights, really, is all. As he's gone off a little bit, I think he's letting Tinnis through, which is fair enough, and he's knocked something off in the process, and anyone using that as a reference for break points, they're not going to like that one bit. But there we go, Tinnis has got some clean air now to try and catch up to Jazzman in first place, Eagle.
Yeah, he has. He's got a long way to go, Lauren. Now, saying that, not too far, 2.5 seconds. The top three separated by 4.1 seconds. It was closer than it was last week. By the time at this point in the race, it was about 10-15 seconds. Well, Ethan now will keep it on his pace. Look, already setting 35.3. So he now starts to hunt down. The next car will be Jam. Field cat, and you can see already closing up on him very quickly. Jam is driving in the what I like to call the multicoloured car of the Technicolor Dreamcoat. It's basically Joseph's Technicolor Dreamcoat in a car because it's many colours, many colours, and it's very vibrant. I'm going to say vibrant, the word, yes, and it's a very pretty livery. No, my favourite livery has to be Ethan's, the beautiful orange livery.
Yeah, Ethan's is pretty good, and I like Tinnis's as well because it's lovely in green, and green's my favourite colour, so yeah, it's looking really nice, and I like Jazzman's as well up in the lead. Well, I think all of them are pretty good, Yvonne. There's stuff that I'm not like. There's no livery that I don't like. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah, they're all looking pretty good. At least they're making the effort. They're all racing until June, of course. So they'll be racing for quite a long time. As Lava is right on the back of who is it?
Racing on the back of Lava. Jensen.
Sorry about that. I'm still getting used to the abbreviation. I'm still getting used to the abbreviation, so I apologise.
Yeah, it can be difficult sometimes. Lava, of course, makes his debut. He's racing with a Racing then, of course, and his favourite driver, I'm not presuming, is John Lacey, because a Racing Lacey arrives in 1995, because John Lacey's only ever win, and might be his birthday as well, so who knows? But a lot of things, because they run right through the beginning of Sector 2, and you can see there off the road, that is Lava, but he'll get away with that because a Racy should just be able to slip through there. Let's see, yes he does. So up there down to 12th position for him in what now is 1 hour 40 minutes of who's next going to be overtaking people. So Jetix is closing, but these guys are all getting caught by Ethan, who's setting blistering lap times, by the way. The last lap was a 37, so maybe not blistering lap times. Made him a small mistake, looks like lap, but still on it like a chocolate biscuit, and he's definitely trying to push hard as he can.
Yeah, he is, as quite a lot of people so far at the moment in this race. We're on lap 12 already of this race. Maybe some people might pit strategically to make sure they're ahead of their rivals, and then they can pit at a certain good time for the final stint of the race. We'll have to wait and see. 1 stop or 2 stop? That is the question for some of these guys. I think most people will be going for 1 stop, as Ethan is gone in the gravel a little bit there. He lost a bit of time, but not a lot. Thank goodness his whim is probably gained a bit from Ethan's misfortune. So there we go. 2 seconds, I believe, he's gained. So that's helped him quite a lot. And yeah, not much trouble going elsewhere, but Chris is having a bad time. And I think the other battle we've got is between Esther and the guy in 9th place.
That's Derry Mackay, who's not spun so far in this race, which is an improvement from last week, because where he had 6 pit stops, I think we counted it. 6-7 pit stops with damage, and of course, today, so far, no damage at all. Not even a whimper of a mistake, so doing good for him until Lionel cuts him in around about 0.5 of a second. Well, meanwhile, Chris is getting lapped now. Lap will be by Matt, who's the next car to lap him there. If I'm not mistaken, he is in the other yellow car, but not now because he's spun. Just when I said we're the next car, well, now it's Slicker's the next car. So, onwards and upwards, they say Slicker's now the next car to lap the car. Matt there, getting wide of turn number 1. That'll be Ethan coming through. If it's said like this, he'll be coming through and gaining people when they make mistakes. And so far this race, the only position he's gained is, well, by other people making mistakes. So I suppose this is just being consistent and just taking your time, isn't it, Jess? And right now, Ethan's doing a phenomenal job coming through. Started last, he's up 10 positions so far.
Yep, and I'm usually a person that likes to be conservative as well in these type of endurance races, because you never know what might happen. You don't really want to push too much, because otherwise you're going to end up like what Chris has done, down in last place. So Yeah, so Ethan's done the right thing. Essa has done quite in 10th at the moment, so he's dropped a little bit. And the guy in 4th has done quite well. Jam in 5th place at the moment, so he's had a decent race at the moment. Still got potentially Ethan potentially chasing him pretty soon as well. Matt's up into 7th place again, so Matt's starting to find much better form than he was earlier after that spin. So hopefully he can bounce back, Evil.
Yeah, there's always a possibility, of course, and through they come. That beautiful last corner, I must say. It's absolutely phenomenal when you're flying at, what, 170 miles an hour, give or take? I think that's going around about now, about that speed-ish. I'm in kilometers now, so it's a bit hard for me to tell exactly the speed they're going in. About 170-ish, 10 miles an hour, about 170 there. Esther's still closing up on Derry Mackay. That now gap is 5/10 of a second. Top two separated by just under 2 seconds, or just around about that 2-second window. So we're just waiting right now for first round of pit stops, which will not be for around about another 30 to 40 minutes, I give or take. There is Derry McCoy. A bit of covering the inside there, but no real challenge from behind. As Ethan, I think, is already on the back of, he's already definitely in the window of Jammy as well. So those two closing up bit by bit, and Ethan now challenging for what will be 5th position in this race. And he said the podium is an opportunity. Well, right now we haven't got hard through the race, and he's already up to 6th. So I think definitely 3rd might just be on the card. He's only, what, 14 seconds off of that podium so far, and that is pretty close, so to be said.
Yeah, don't jinx it though, Evil. Oh!
Was that Esther or was that Derry McCoy off? It's Derry McCoy wide. And very similar liveries there, I must say. Derry McCoy is not in a good place. That's going to spin the car, and that is not good. How? How did they not crash? I'm not too certain about that, Jess, but magic. Magic there, the magnetism. That was exactly the same kind of issue that happened with Jerome and Chris earlier on, but Derry McCoy and Esther proving how it's done.
How did they do that? They're like machines, so great job, great racing so far, especially in these wet conditions. I mean, the spray is going to be really hard for them, and they must be judging their braking zones really well, so well done to them as well. So running on board with a VSR Rotary in 6th place at the moment, and he's got Jam in his sights up as he goes on to lap 15 at the moment, getting really good speed on the S section at the moment. That's really going to help him to gain some momentum to see if he can get the move done, possibly on the straights. He's gaining on Jam at the moment. Let's see if he can challenge him. Right now he's only 1/10 down on his previous best, so looking quite good. As a bit of weaving there from Jam at front. So let's see, I think he's now about 5/10 behind Jam, now 6/10, so looks like Jam's gained a bit more speed on the straights. So we're going up the hill. I think Rotary's going to wait just a little bit longer, Evil, to get the move on Jam.
Yeah, you can see this is getting close enough. It's around about this 6, 5, 10 window. It really starts to affect the car. If you get close enough, though, you really gain the advantage up the road. That is pretty soon getting that blue car getting lapped, if I'm not too mistaken. Someone spun at turn number 1, and when it was that racing at home, it's Lav. Lav's gone spinning. Oh yeah, Lava. Spun at turn number 1. I swear Lava had an R in it, but I'm dyslexic, so I don't know. But nonetheless, Lav is in 13th position. He spun there. He was battling the Racy and Devil there down at the back.
Devil 666.
Devil 666. Ethan, meanwhile, doing good, closing up on Jam right now. These two have had a bit of a rivalry before in the previous season of Endurance, where, of course, famously in Monza, these two came together in what was a very similar incident than we saw today with two cars colliding. Look, that was through the exit of Ascari, and Ethan right now, he's definitely got a bit more downforce, a bit more grip. It looked right now, but there's just no way through on this circuit. You can see here, the best place he's got right now in terms of he's quick is through Dunlop, but you're not coming through there unless you're made of something magic, and you're definitely coming through here unless you get word on the curve. Which, of course, and then you've got the open opportunity to come through on the exit of Deckner 2, but then it's just too tight. So the only opportunity, unless you do it as Spoon, is down the straight before 130R or through down towards turn number 1, Jess. There's really not many overtaking opportunities.
Yeah, I think as Ethan was pointing out, he prefers like the traditional endurance races like Daytona or Le Mans, and that's where he can really start pushing. But for now, as he's only got a few corners to overtake, so he's got to make the most of it. As he's getting 2 attempts, he's gaining. He's got some good entry speed going into 130R.
He'll just sit back right now. There's no point in trying it just through here. He'll do it down turn 1 close enough. But look, he lifted off, and now he's not close enough. He lost all that momentum. See, he's got to get the momentum. He's got to get in the toe and just be able to get close enough before turn 1. Because if you get it too early down towards 130R, you're not coming through, really, is it? Because it's just that corner you come through is get very close to turn 1 there, and I expect he might have a little bit of flash of the lights potentially. No, he's okay there, but he's definitely confident on the brakes. But, and this is the crucial thing, but he could not get through because he's just stuck behind him. And he's going to be getting frustrated, I imagine, right now, because look, he was 14 seconds off the guys up the front. Now he's 18, so he's dropping back more and more.
Yeah, quite a bit there. So he's got to make the move now, because otherwise people behind him aren't going to see this opportunity sooner rather than later. I think there's a few people that might get lapped soon as well, so that's going to be tricky towards the latter half of the races. There'll be people battling, but there'll be people trying to get through for the blue flags. Meanwhile, racing at home, he's down in 13th place right now as he's chasing down a Vi.
That's the leader. That's the leader. He's getting lapped there, Jess. So pulling himself. This is that weird, awkward situation we sometimes get this big train of cars. You've got Lavi and Racing at Home basically in the middle of a battle right now. Racing at Home very nicely gets out of the race, but he is, I think, right now, 13th position. That was Tinnis coming through. He's got himself down to 1 second during all of this. Lavi behind as well, and that is behind Jetix. Tinnis has got himself a penalty as well to add, of course, as Ethan. Has he gone off somewhere? He has gone off somewhere. And I'm wondering, is there a car with damage behind somewhere as I see, or was that someone else going slowly? No, it wasn't. So, Ethan in trouble here today, and I'm wondering, someone went very wide there. I'm wondering who that was who went wide, because there's a huge ball that just got flown up in the air. But, looks like, Ethan getting himself right out the way and over those curbs into the pit lane, and that is not what you want to be doing. And that, again, second race in a row, he's had issue, and that's Chris in the pit lane as well. And, oh, don't tell me. Could there have been contact, I'm wondering?
Might be. That is very unfortunate for Ethan.
He's flashing his light. He's not happy with something. He's flashing his light. Has Chris and Ethan come together? I think they might have. Because that flashing of the lights makes it seem like there's been a coming together. And I hope there hasn't. Because the poor old man has been absolutely just bewildered recently. The last couple of the races with issues. And it looks like potentially another issue to add to that list.
Yeah, well, I mean, we seem to be giving curse after curse after curse for Ethan. I mean, in every endurance race so far, he's been having issues. And, when you're in blue flag situations, if you're a slower car, you have to let the faster car through. That is the situation. And Chris did not do that. So I'm sure that will be investigated in the stewards, because Ethan was not a very happy bunny at all when he was trying to go past Chris, because obviously he was a lap ahead of him. And obviously Chris did not do that. So, that is really unfortunate for Ethan. Chris has got to get his head down. He's really got to learn these blue flag situations. But some of these guys, they're new to league racing. They're new to AOR. So some of these guys may not know how the blue flag operates. But it is in the rules and regulations once they sign up. So they have been asked to read them. And if they don't read them and they call situations like this, they could get in a lot of trouble. And could cause maybe some penalty points added to their name. And if they get too many, they might get blacklisted, which hopefully doesn't happen. But it's very important to read the rules and regulations, because obviously that's how you race. And if you don't, it can cause a lot of trouble.
Yeah, indeed. Well, poor old Ethan down there in 14th now, and that's a long stop. So he had to have had a lot of damage indeed. And I'm just not sure what happened there, because we didn't see it, of course. We can only assume there was contact down the straight, because we saw Ethan suddenly slowing right down towards Spoon. So that's the only place I can assume there's been an incident, if there's been an incident, unless he went off on his own, which I can't imagine so, because looking at the car he was with, had no front end, so we had to have either ran into him to put the other car in the wall. In comes a Lava in the pit lane now. Is that for damage as well, I'm wondering? Is that for a scheduled stop? I mean, you can schedule that for him, so he'll have one more stop potentially ahead of him. So Ethan now, he should be able to go to the end of this race potentially if he's got enough, but I don't think he does. So he'll run out and get about 20 minutes to go, so he'll have to make another stop, I feel.
Yeah, well, I think so. I think most of these guys will have to make another stop. 73 litres, I don't think are going to last until the end. I doubt it. Unless, maybe with an hour to go, yes, but not when it's an hour and 27. So maybe he'll probably pit again with 45 minutes. I don't know. Ethan's got to be strategic right now. He's got to think, right, how am I going to gain the most time now? He's back to almost where he started, down in 15th place. So, and the next, obviously, the only car he's ahead of is the one that took him out, which was Chris. So, yeah, and he's still
in the pit lane again.
Yeah, but he's struggling to. Is it? I see that he's not finding. I think. Let me just look at the standings quickly, Evil. I do believe it's one of his first races here at AOR.
It's the second race here, of course.
All right.
Derek McCoy, who was the one who struggled last week so much, so far is in ninth, which is a phenomenal job for him. Meanwhile, Matt closing up together with that's Jam as well, and ahead of them is one of the other cars. I'm trying to spot who that is from here, but it's a bit too hard to see. I think it might be a Racy potentially there, or one of the other cars. It's not a Racy, so it's not that. Is it Ethan? It is Ethan there, as comes out one car behind. That's Chris coming out right in the middle of a battle right now for Eternal 1. He slots himself in nice as he does, right behind. That is Matt, and just ahead of him Strategist as well, who's rather going sideways through the bottom of the circuit. So Ethan struggling due to contact. 1 hour 25 minutes to go ahead of the drivers. But so far, Jess, we've got a lot of drama and more controversy again in the second race.
Yeah, it just always happens in these type of endurance races. I think some of them just need to improve on their racecraft a little bit and make sure they don't get involved in these type of incidents where you can tell who the experienced drivers are in this race. You can like the likes of Jazzman and Tinnis and Jetix, they're keeping out of trouble, and fourth place is doing the same. But everybody else is just like, everybody else just needs to get a move on, and I think some of these guys may not have practiced as much as we would have thought. It is the top tier, Evil, so I would expect most of these guys to practice, but maybe some of them have not practiced as much as some of these guys would have liked. I mean, you could tell by the way some of these guys are driving that some of these guys have not practiced. But I know Ethan has practiced. Yeah,
but Lava is still in the pit lane as well. He's definitely got a lot of damage of some description, because that's been in the pit lane quite a while now. It's about a lap he's been in there. So Ethan back up to 14th now. So his next target is going to be Jerome there. But this is an interesting thing, though. That's Jam behind. There's Jam who's coming up to lap him then. So that's that. And ahead of him is going to be Slicker. And Ethan's basically lost just literally an entire lap, because that's where he was between these two drivers earlier.
Yeah, Slicker, he was in the fight for a minute, and suddenly he's not. So he's got to get a move on. But Matt in 6th. I wish you could see, Evil, how many positions they've gained. Project Cars 3, if they do it, please just get the positions gains. It's really hard to see how much they've gained since the start of the race unless you want to check the start of the stream. But yeah, Jam staying out in 5th place. Not much battling going for any of the guys at the moment. It's just these guys trying to avoid as much traffic as they can, really. Some of the guys are almost running out of fuel. We could see potential pit stops pretty soon. some of them on 15 laps of fuel. Obviously, Lava pitted quite recently, so he won't have to pit for a while. As Chris is going very slowly again, Evil.
Doing some rallycross, I must say, through Spoon, which is
No, I was thinking Tokyo Drift there. I was thinking
Tokyo rallycross drift stuff.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good combination, I must say. So yeah.
Nonetheless, talking about rallycrossing, you're doing that soon, aren't you, Jess? With Sue, if I'm not too mistaken in the comment box.
7th of March is a pre-season event that we're doing, and if you still want to sign up, sign-ups are open on all platforms. We've got enough for PC, but we're looking for more guys, in particular the PS4. Xbox have got a really strong influx at the moment of people, but we only got 2 people on PS4, including the Rallycross champion as well. So get signed up if you're interested. I don't know when sign-ups close, but you know, just get them in, or else. Really, it is a lot of fun. But we still got a race in hand here in Project Cars as Tinus is really close to Jazzman all of a sudden again. This is unexpected. I mean, Tinnis has just found some good pace for all of a sudden. Maybe due to the fact that these guys are running on less fuel, and they're pretty much more comfortable running on less fuel than being on a full tank of fuel, Evil.
Yeah, Jazzman really covering that inside off there. He's just trying to break that time. Though that last lap, 37.3. So he's made a mistake somewhere on that lap. And must have been around about Spoon. He made the mistake. We'll have a look at the timings there if anything comes up. No, it does not. So we can't see exactly where he's made a mistake. But we know he has had a mistake that last lap because the lap time is well down there. These two, of course, these top 3 are all just still flying away from the rest of their field. Of course, Ethan would have been closing up as well. You can see the lap time 35.7. So he's really just with these lead 2-3 cars. So that's his pace. But he can't use it now because he's stuck down there in no man's land. But Jazzman stopped making his first mistake of the race. And Tinus always sitting behind. Always waiting. Just there. He's lurking. He's like a shark ready to bite. And if he does bite, it's going to be a very big bite indeed.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder when he's going to get the move. If he wants to get the move done, he's got to make it done before the pit stops, because a few more laps, if they don't do it before the pit stop, you're going to rely on the pit crew, and that's quite difficult in itself as well. So we'll have to wait and see. Don't forget, Tinners has got a penalty, so he's already on the back foot to Jazzman. Jazzman, of course, has got no penalties. The guys in red, they've got penalties of some sort. The ones not in red, they've got no penalties and squeaky clean. Right now we've got Tinnis on 1 penalty and 1 second. And Tinnis is in the pit lane. No, Jazzman's in the pit lane. So yeah.
Tinnis trying the overcut then, so that's going to be interesting. That pit lane is so dangerous, I must say. Look, they come in, which is, I must say, on the racing line. We'll show you when with the likes of Jetix and Tinnis when they come in next lap time, and especially anyone else who comes in the pit. As you'll see how quick they're coming now, very much. You brake and start slowing down on the racing line, which is not ideal, I must say. Braking on the racing line on a live racetrack is not the ideal thing, but you have to do it on this circuit. I mean, normally you would have to take the other pit lane. If we go on board with Esso, I'll show you what we mean. So, is he's the nearest car to the last corner. So you would be braking coming out of this corner, and what you would be doing normally is taking that right-hander there. You'll see that little curve. That's the entrance of the pit lane, that chicane and all that. Of course, here in LMP2, we've decided probably why that is best taking the quicker entrance in, because slamming on the brakes and stopping very early, which is literally on the racing line, because the exit of Run Fatiari is just a little bit too dangerous. So we've decided that they can kind of cheat a little bit and take the alt route in, which alas is also kind of dangerous, as in comes Derry McCoy in the pit lane then, as well as Jazzman's back out in crucially clean air, though, Jazz.
Yeah, that is crucial for Jazzman. I mean, that's going to help him gain some more time on Tinnis, who's going in the pits lane right now. He's going to hope that the overcut is going to work for him, and Jazzman's going to hope that the undercut has worked for him. We'll have to wait and see. It'll be interesting to see, Evil, his lap times in the next lap to see if that undercut has made a difference on Jazzman. That's what made the difference last race, and he ended up winning the race because of it. And also Jetix hasn't pitted either. He is the race leader out on track at the moment, but obviously he's yet to make a stop. So your net race leader is Jazzman down in 7th place, and quite a few other people in the pits as well. And I would say, Evil, I think a few people are timing these pit stops quite alright, because then after this pit stop, they will pit with around about 45 minutes to go of the race as their next pit stop, and then that'll be it. Or probably with half an hour, we'll have to wait and see, but they're just timing it well. Some of these guys, they've got plenty of fuel, they're still pitting, so I guess they're judging the timings a little bit more as well. And some of them might be saving fuel. Oh, this is very close to the pit lane. Tinnus did not want any of that, and he's been forced almost off the pit racing line a little bit there. Jazzman's ahead. I think that's cost him time a little bit, Tinnus, by them racing out in the pit lane. So, yeah, I think Jazzman has benefited more than Tinnus. So, yeah, Tinnus will not be happy with that.
No, I don't think he will be. That's Devil up 3%. He's yet to stop. But that was Derry McCoy, I believe that was there.
Yeah, that
in
was.
all sorts of the wrong places. And normally, if I saw that was the leader behind, I would have slowed down at the pit lane, let him through. As he wide through Degner 1. Jetix managed to get him the pit lane as well. He had very low fuel. So let's see where he comes out. 35.8. So Matt will come in this lap as well. I'll be shocked if he doesn't come. You'll see him come in now, and straight in he comes. So it's down to that 60 kilometers an hour, and he gets that nice and done. And Stratus will follow in hot pursuit.
Ah, sorry. I can hear.
As I hear my beautiful voice in the background, it's so beautiful.
So I was getting the chat up.
Tinnus. Then comes Devil. Then comes Slicker. Devil yet to pit lane. Let to pit. So he'll drop down. Slicker. Then comes Jam. Ahead of Racing at Home. Essa. Racing ahead of Danny McCoy. Then comes Jerome. Ethan down there, and he's going to be stopping once more. So it's not over for Ethan. He's still got a chance, because he'll be stopping once more later on, around about 45 minutes of the rest of them, and then it will sync up quite well. So don't count your silver spoons there for the driver. Meanwhile, Jetix is out, and I'm not sure what's happened here, Jess, but Jetix leading. I mean, we haven't caught
No, Jetix hasn't pitted yet.
He has pitted.
Has he?
Yeah, 74 litres. They've got 68. He's just come in. So,
wow.
Yeah, no, I think he's not changed tyres. You know what? I don't think he's double stacking the tyres, you know, Jess.
Whereas Jazzman and Tinnus have. So that's why Jetix is in the lead. Wow, that is a gamble for Jetix to just pit just the one thing. I mean, these tyres are not going to last pretty long, especially in these conditions. And, you know, I think we'll have to wait and see what happens. We do have a question in the chat from Typhoon. Hello, how are you doing? Who do you both think will mess up, especially in the weather like this? So, yeah, who do you think will mess up in the last hour and 14 minutes? Who do you think will be the most vulnerable, Evil?
Well, you can only say Jazzman's got the silver platter right now. If he makes a mistake, I will be gobsmacked. So, not Jazzman. I'm not going to curse him. Tinnus, he's really good. These two drivers are GT3 champions as well. Very good in the wet. So you just want to look down. If there's anyone who's going to really struggle, I'd say it's going to be these new guys. Derry maybe, Jerome, we've got Lava and Chris as well. All these guys down the back, they're most likely going to be the ones that are susceptible for a mistake. Meanwhile, Paddy Asbrake he got an issue. He's going slowly. What's happened there?
Ah, he's struggling a little bit there.
Is that a slow down, Paddy, I think? I think that was a slow down, Paddy. No, he's going slower. Darren, there's an issue. He's going very slowly all of a sudden.
Oh!
Half throttle.
I can't tell if it's smoke coming out or spray. I think it's spray, isn't it? Yeah, it's spray.
Right, so he's got something wrong with the car there. Now, he's had a wheel issue before where it's not worked properly, and I'm wondering, could that be a pedal issue, however? Because you can see, look at this, he can't get it. That more than half, it looks like. As I mentioned Jerome, he's in the pit there meanwhile for his scheduled stop. But we'll have a little look there for Matt. if he's getting up full throttle. This looks like it's not peaking at full throttle.
No, it's not.
It looks like he's pushing it. He's definitely pushing it though. So see if he comes in the pit lane. But this is gonna be really dangerous.
Oh my word!
And he gets right out of the way. He's probably flashing his lights. They're all aware. And he doesn't look like he's weaving. Doesn't look like he's moving.
Yeah, it's his pedals evil. You can tell because it goes up and down and up and down. And it's not really a continuation of the throttle as we've seen most other guys. Let's jump on board with Jetix to see what we mean. As you can see, he's really gaining pressure on the throttle. He's keeping it steady, whereas Matt, he was just like up and down and up and down, and it didn't really go up like Jetix has done. So
it was more jumping, wasn't it? So that to me,
that could be our first retirement.
Like a real issue. He's got in the pit lane though, so we'll see. It might have been damage. We don't know. But I can't imagine damage to do that to the car as Jerome leaves the pit lane. In the meantime, talking about meantime, Dennis, he's only 7 turns behind Jazzman again. So these two closing up on each other as per usual. Let's hope Matt, that's not a terminal issue for him and he can get himself back going. So in due course, we'll see. But Slick Up as well doing an okay job, a fantastic job actually in 4th as well. So really you can see these top 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. These are all the established drivers and they are being upstaged by the driver who joined GT3 about mid-season last time out, who runs right on cue, and he's wasn't that gap, he's a little bit quicker actually. He's yeah, you can see actually, yeah. This is a perfect example, Jess, of he's changed tires. Look at these lap times. 36, everyone else 38, Jan 36 as well. Those two have not changed the tyres. Now they're doing this because they'll have fresher tyres later on, because Jetix will likely come in to change it later on. Matt's got himself back going again. I'm wondering, is he got that mended? No, he's still going. Still issue. Look, you can see, look at the throttle.
It's his pedals. It's his pedals.
That's an issue, isn't it? That's a really big issue.
I think he'll be forced to retire the car, which is not what you want to do.
It's you can see it. Look, Jess, it's not peaking over the 8, so that to me just looks like it's not sticking down.
No, it's not going in at 6. I think most
known with wheels. You've got a wheel yourself, so do you potentially know what the issue could be?
I think it is pedals. I can tell because you'll be going full throttle.
He gets himself.
You'll be going full throttle in the straights.
There.
You'll be going full throttle. So yeah, it's definitely pedal issue. So I won't be surprised if he goes into the pits, and he's giving a good go. Bless him. He's not giving up, which I think is a good attitude to have for as a driver. You don't want to give up at the first try. If you first don't succeed, try again, and then if that doesn't succeed, then give up. So he's on the try again phase right now, and yeah, I won't be surprised if he retires the car. He's not retiring yet though, so I'm guessing he's still finding a little bit of life at the moment. Oh, that was close from racing. That wasn't racing at home. That was the point, wasn't it?
I think that's a racy. It might be, yeah, it was a racy dad coming through, and you got to feel for Matt right now. He's struggling. You see, look, it's peaking around about that 8 there, so it's definitely getting more, but I'm just trying to figure out what that issue could be though. Jess, oh no! Oh, that is not what you want to be doing, and that somehow was not a monumental shunt. And, whew, wow.
That was close.
That was a bit too close. I'm not sure who on earth
that was.
That wasn't Ethan there. That was one. Was that Chris? It was Chris.
Oh, God.
So Chris somehow avoided what would have been an absolutely monstrous accident. But like I said, just as a wheel user yourself, have you ever had that issue potentially where your pedal isn't sticking down properly?
Yes. F1. There was an issue in Australia, turn 12. Literally my pedals and decided to not work, and I ended up trying to get the wheel to turn straight. It didn't, and I ended up getting disqualified. So I know exactly how Matthew must be feeling in the cockpit, and he must be frustrated with himself, but he's at least the game is letting him go. If it was the F1 games, it wouldn't have done that, so at least he's still continuing anyway. Meanwhile, the gap, Jazzman and Tinnis about 9 attempts now, whereas Jetix is 11 seconds. He's flying on the circuit right now. His penalty does not seem to matter, Evil.
Well, either way, it's going up and down. But so far, Jazzman in second. Sorry, I completely missed that. I was reading something in the AOR chat. But Jam so far in fifth. Let's see. Matt's got himself back going again. I'm wondering, is it the same issue? It seems to be. Unless he's got it fixed. Let's see. No, he's got him in. There we go. He's mended, it seems now. So he's going up to the 7. So he's definitely got more throttle. So
there we go. That's more like it. That's normal. He's going full speed now. So, hey, that's what we like to see. So good that is a lesson learned, everybody. Do not give up at the first attempt. Look at what Matthew has done. He's still racing. And
Navi, that's damage, I think. Is that damage I'm looking at there? Well, I mean, it's a bit hard to see from this camera angle because it's pointing down, but definitely the windscreen's broken. But of course, that's visual from earlier. So he looks like he's damaged the car somewhere in the race. Chris down there in 16th, so he's going to be, it looks to be, well, to be fair, 5 minutes of the pace, he could come through and pass Lavi, actually. Depends on how much damage Lavi's got, but long afternoon for him, and he's actually quite far off. But a lot of gaps going, but still, these two together, Jazzman and Tinus. And you'll see a lot of these in GT3, of course, because most of these drivers are going to be in GT3. It should be announced, the announcement thread should be up with, as far as my pigeon told me earlier on, potentially by the end of next week.
Yeah, because obviously next week is the last race of the Clio Cup, so it'll probably, I think obviously they will do a bit of stewards inquiries, I think, and then once those are sorted for Clio, then they'll probably open the GT3s after that. So yeah, we've still got one more round of that, and make sure you do check that out Wednesday evenings at 8 o'clock. And Mr. Evil Dragon also racing there, so you get to watch him in his glory, and some of the times he bottles it, some of the times he does well, so hopefully you do well in the last race, Evil.
I've crashed every time, Jess, but I appreciate your confidence in my abilities. Well, to be fair, no, I have crashed every time, actually, so, well, I mean, anyway.
The first race you done well.
Yeah, right, the first race I didn't crash, second bit of the first race I died, and we don't talk about the other.
Right, yeah, anyway, let's go with the race.
Moving swiftly on to the battle of Jazzman and Tinus, the two more established drivers, they're so far going up the field bit by bit, and currently in third and second position. There's one car. Was that Chris off the road? And he's Chris off the road. Down there, right in front of the two leaders. So, struggling more and more, but still carrying on his merry way. You've got to say, fair play to these drivers. No retirement from this session at all.
I'm shocked about that. I was expecting quite a few, especially after all the incidents we've seen today, Evil. But they're keeping going, and that's really great to see. Ethan, he's in 12th. He's coming back, which is great as well. And we're starting to see people that are, you know, still thinking that they can salvage some good points out of this, because you know, that is great to see. Even though Chris and Lava in 15th, they're still going. So everyone's out of the pit lane now, as Tinus has dropped a little bit of time over Jazzman. So maybe Jazzman's setup is more geared towards the straights, whereas Tinus may be more on the corners. I don't know, but we won't know on these setups. Only the drivers do. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds, as potentially we've got about 15-20 minutes before the next pit stops. Or maybe they might pit on the half hour. We'll have to wait and see. And yeah, that's my voice is almost gone.
Yeah, your voice here, my stage, yes, it's sounding croaky. Meanwhile, I expect Rotary or Ethan should be in around about 45 minutes, so we'll be in by the 45-minute part. So about 25 more minutes and he should come in. That'll take him to the end of this race, but no battles going on so far up and down the grid. The only real one we've got so far is this battle between Jazzman and Mr. Tinny Boy Tinus.
Tinny Boy.
Oh,
God.
In third position, he's doing an okay job. He's keeping himself there and thereabouts, and I've got to say, consistency's been there for him, and I'm surprised by Jazzman as well. Though they are starting to catch bit by bit Jetix, who should be in the pit, and he's coming through, lapping. That's a racy there. He's coming through there, so getting himself through nice and easy. That cost him a little bit of time. 1.4 seconds they just lost there as Derry McCoy is in the pit lane then. And that, I imagine, must be for damage because that's a little bit early for him to come in. So you still have to come in one more time.
Yeah, I think so, Derry. I swear I've seen him in the pit lane more than other people this race. But you know, I'm guessing he's being a bit strategic at the moment because 51 litres of fuel, that wouldn't be normal to pit now. So I think that is damage, I think, on his car, which is not very good, especially we're almost halfway into this race already. And this is the crucial part now where these drivers may start to make a little bit more mistakes as, oh, someone's gone wide. That's racing at home.
Yeah, it is. And this is going to be interesting. Right, so this is Ethan coming to try and unlap himself right now. And this is that awkward situation we have when, because Ethan spun earlier on, he had that damage due potentially to Chris. We'll speak to him later. But damage was done. And you have a little bit of weaving there from racing. I don't know if he's trying to spot someone at the road. Someone spun there. Two people have spun, actually. I'm wondering who that was who just went off there.
Was that racing again? I'm sure that was racing.
Someone was definitely, yeah, in the pit lane there. So someone's just come in and see who that is. That
that's either Devil or yeah. Or I did see. No, I didn't see racing spinning. It was him.
Yeah, someone spun. Coming towards the pit lane.
Oh God!
Both black liveries. Nonetheless, kind of releases Ethan into a bit of clean air right now. He's so far 10th position, yet to stop. Remember. So, that'll be interesting. But racing at home, he's going to have to make one more stop again, by the way, because 1 hour, that's not going to do the entire hour. So he's going to have to come in again, and that is not what he wants to be doing.
No, definitely not Mr. Evil Dragon. I mean, you can't do that at this later stage. I think we're going to start counting the record pretty soon as well. How many pit stops people made this race. I think a lot of people will be talking about it so far. And the gap now between Jazzman and Tin is 1.2, so still holding steady. Chris in the pits again. He's not having a good old time. He's pretty much 2 or 3 laps down off the leaders. Probably more than that.
Yeah, he's really struggling today, of course, but sometimes it's difficult circuit, difficult conditions, and it can happen, unfortunately. Meanwhile, this is the battle between Derry McCoy, I believe. That's lap car in between. That's racing at home in between these two pairs. You can see there the pink livery. I believe it's, Derry McCoy just spun, actually. So never mind about that battle. I'm going to be careful rejoining the circuit here, my friend, because you're going to be on the racing line, and you've got fast cars approaching. That'll be Tinnis, I believe, or Slicker coming through. Is it Slicker? It'll be Slicker then, coming through to lap you. And this is an awkward place to be as well. Gets himself well out of the way towards Degner 1 and 2. So he does a very good job and a very nice place to get out of the way there. So some of the drivers still learning the ins and outs. We can see that puddle just under the bridge, and that's catching a few drivers out, I imagine. Yeah,
it catches me out when I race around Sakitto. I've done a bit whilst I was testing the audio on the stream, and my oh my, these puddles do catch you out, don't they? One slight mistake and then bang, you're in the wall. So yeah, but these guys are holding it steady, of course, as we're now in the halfway mark of this race, Evil. So crunch time for the drivers as they try to last these final hour. Like we said before, no retirements already. Matt is still holding strong. He's keeping going right now in 14th. I'm glad he's still going. He had trouble with his pedals, but obviously he's back. And yeah, his pedals are looking dusty, fine and dandy right now. Jerome, we haven't talked much about him, Evil, in this race so far, have we? He's down in 13th, minding his own business, and he is, I think, he's still got a bit of traffic to deal with, unfortunately, but at the moment, he's not gonna be very happy with his result, but he's keeping going.
Yeah. Involved in that first couple of laps, that shunt, of course, with Chris, and rather wiped him out of the race, unfortunately, but that bad, of course, Chris, I think a few others involved, but definitely was Jerome, who was the man who ended up going straight up the rear end of poor old Chris, and in that sickening thud. I'm not too certain who was the other driver involved. There was one or two others, but I'll have to look at that later on. However, Jerome's still far 30 position. He's got a long way to go, and he's getting caught by Matt by 2 seconds a lap. So Matt should come through pretty easily right now, I imagine. We're still waiting on a few other drivers to come in the pit lane who are out of sync. Of course, Racing at Home's out of sync. Ethan is also out of sync. He'll be coming in the next 15 minutes, as far as my knowledge will go. So expect him to be in about the next 5 to 6 laps. And that should just take him to the end. It's about 45 minutes a lap of fuel. A tank of fuel will take you 45 minutes. So about 30 laps, give or take. So I'm into this thing. Well, Jerome getting caught more and more right now by Mr. Matthew. Matthew definitely looking feisty, Jess. Tennis wide? Yeah, tennis right. Sorry, carry on. Yeah. There he's flying out there. Remember, though, he's on that old tank field. Somehow, though, despite going wide, Tinners has gone quicker. So, there we go. Track limits do not matter. Well, he probably got a ding there, but it must have been up by quite a while there to still go faster. But, 2 seconds. The gap right now between those two. Top 3 separated by just under 11, just under 12 seconds. Look at the gap backwards, though, yes. 40 seconds. Then we got Jam, then we got another 20 seconds down to Wim. Wim right now is in no man's land because the nearest car to him is Essa, who is, another 20 seconds behind. Then another 10-second gap to Racing. Then comes Ethan, who is a further 45 seconds back. He's getting caught by Racing at Home, who's got damage. So he's in the pit lane again there, I'm presuming. And then we've got Devil down there. He's almost a minute behind. Then we've got Derek, Matt, Jerome, then of course Lava and Chris down there in 16th position at the back of this race. 7 minutes down, of course, but carrying on and proving that he is going to be a consistent driver. Of course, no retirement as of yet in this race, but one driver in the pit lane of a very presumably damaged Racing at Home, who still now will have to come in again after later even more, because he still will not make the end of this race. Yeah, that's your own. Indeed. Well, I've just lost Jester temporarily on my end, at least. I'm not sure if we're speaking over each other temporarily in the chat, but if we are, sorry for the minor speaking over of each other, but a little bit of a disconnect there. So if you can hear me, hello. If you can't, I'm not sure what happened there. Well, there we go. Jess is back again there. So a little bit of a disconnect on the mic. But Jamie, so far in 5th position, Rim Strategist in 6th. Essa in 7th, ahead of Aracy still in 8th position. He's doing an okay job. Ethan still got another 10 minutes before he will come in that pit lane. 14 minutes, he'll be saving fuel, I imagine, very drastically because he wants to stretch it out as far as he can. Jetix is last at 37, 36 for Jasmine, 36 for Tina. So those two taking another second out of each other. But of course, Jetix still leads this race, but the gap's starting to come down. Now remember though, that Jasmine and Tinas both will be changing their tyres before this last stint of the race, Jazz.
Right, can you guys hear me? And I'm sorry about that. You guys didn't hear me for like 2 or 3 minutes there. Sorry about that.
Yeah, your mic does seem to be peaking as well, just a little bit there.
Yeah, wait, hold on a minute. Let me just put it there. There we go. That's it.
There
Sorry about that. I think I've been having this awful cold, so I've been muting myself just to try and clear my throat a little bit there. But yeah, I forgot to unmute myself there. So apologies about that. Let me know if you can hear me, Michael, because he was the one that pointed it out. So thank you, Michael. Yeah, so probably you're probably seeing a battle, but you're hearing no voices. So anyway, yeah. Dairy's in the pits.
Yeah, damage again, I presume there. So that's his 5th stop of the afternoon, I believe. That Jamie, meanwhile, he's catching up to Mr. Slicker a little bit, Mr. RS Slicker, or well, there's a very rude word he's trying to say there of RS Slicker. And you can probably say it if you say it out loud. But alas, I'm not. Jam in that 5th position so far. And of course, the top guys still catching each other as well. Tinnis is sitting himself nice and down 1 second behind. And these guys are coming to lap a few drivers. That will be the car of a racer, if I'm not too mistaken. In 8th position. No, it's not. So who is it getting lapped, I wonder? Is it your own? It's not your own. It's not Derek. Is it Lakers? It's Lava. Lava getting himself lapped. There, the flash lights from Jazzman saying, let me through, and he goes himself off the road. Now, this might just a little bit compromise Tinnis's line. No, it doesn't. Get himself well out of the way there. So no issues on that side.
No, not at the moment. And, there's someone that's gone off a little bit there. I think that's people moving out of the way. Yes, it is. Of Jam. And we've got Aracy running in P8. So not doing too bad at the moment. Keeping out of lost trouble. Ethan. What could have been for Ethan? I mean, either he was mounting a charge. He was down in 6th place. And then he got caught up by a lapped car. And now he's down into 9th place. I think we'll have to wait a little bit longer if we want to see a podium or win in this endurance league for Ethan Eva, which is a bit of a shame. I think we've commentators cursed a little bit there. So yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, indeed. Well, unfortunately, that can happen. But Ethan still doing an absolutely brilliant job recovering through and up and down. But still doing a good job. So Rotary 9th. Cars ahead of him. We've got Jam battling with Slicker. And Tina's closing up with Jazzman. So, one green racing machine there, getting caught, and the other one catching there, in the opposite order of which I've just shown you. So, there we go. Well, so far, Slicker, he's doing a good job in 4th position. He's got 25 litres of fuel remaining, so that should take us to around about that half an hour mark. Ethan's got to get another, 5-10 minutes out of that fuel, and how much fuel has he got? I'm wondering. If it's under 6 litres, he's in trouble. He might just get away with it. So he's got 3 laps. He's got 3 laps. He'll be saving fuel. He might just make it to the end of this race, I reckon.
I think he's gonna wait until he gets to the 45-minute mark, where most people are gonna pit, or he might be watching the stream and thinking, hey, that's what I want to do, and that's what he's gonna try and do. So yeah, I think that's what most people will be doing. So keep an eye on Jetix and Jazzman and Tinnis as well. They'll be pitting in the next 3 minutes or so. Or maybe they might want to try and stretch for half an hour, which it might be a bit of a stretch, but you never know. They may want to try and put in as less fuel as they can. And we just had a word from the Supercod of Project Cars that it's not his pedals that Matt was having issues with. he probably got the wrong tyres. He chose slicks evil, and he was meant to go for wets. So that is why he was, yeah, that was why he was having issues. So yeah, that explains it. He is streaming, of course, on his own channel, so people are able to watch it, and I think people heard his frustration. So yeah, now he's back though. He's on the right tyres, thankfully. So yeah, that's good news.
Yeah, it's very much good news. Of course, we don't want to see drivers on the wrong tyres. It's a very rare thing to see them being put on the wrong tyres, but still Slicker and Jammy, they're separated by just under 5/10 of a second, and those two brilliant battles there. And these two, they're all out going to be battling throughout this race. They're so competitive throughout the seasons. They've raced together, and again here today, Jam hunting down Slicker, and of course Jam wants a bit of that RS, I imagine, because he is flying around this circuit. And so far, 37 v 37, they're literally taking 48,000 each other away from each other, 40,000. So the gap's coming down, but not too much. So there's still a little bit of wiggle room, but I definitely imagine it's going to be dropping bit by bit. And then you've got to wonder, where's the opportunity to come through? Well, the only place is either going to be down at Spoon if you get a mega exit, or going to be crucially down towards Turn 1. And these two are going to very much know about that and be very cautious. And I just want to point your attention, Jess, to all of the dirt on the outside of the circuit from other drivers going off. That's going to be affecting these drivers, aren't they?
Yep, a bit of dirty air and dirt on the track is not going to help, of course. It kind of reminds me of Rallycross there. People getting trapped by dirt, but I've experienced dirt rally in obviously the wet, and I find a little bit more grip in the dirt, but in these LMP cars, it's very, very tricky to get some grip. So they're not going to like that one bit.
Indeed, it is. Look at the spray low right now of Jam. You can see the visibility very poorly. You can clearly mark out the outline of that LMP car, or the LMP2 car. And he's closing up right now. He's not close enough to make a dive in turn 1, I don't think. Like, he's close enough that Slicker has to go to the inside, has to defend that line slightly. That'll be brave around the outside, I must say. He won't do it there because he'll just cover the inside just about. Now Ethan has made it in the pit lane because he's forced to, and he's only got 1.5 litres left, so he's left it as late as he can, and that should, and he'll have to save a little bit of fuel, should just be enough. As
that was
Jamie
close
goes
for Ethan.
wide there, and Slicker gives himself a little bit more gap.
That was close for Ethan there. I mean, I wonder if he's timed it right or if he's timed it wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. He's the first one of the guys to actually pit as well, but the other guys are pretty much behind him anyway, and he's not going to gain much for. He's going to stay in 9th place, racing at home in 10th place. He's got 58 litres of fuel, but there's no way he's going to make it to the end of this race. So when will he pit? We'll have to find out, but they won't. I think racing at home won't put a full tank of fuel in when he next pits. I think he'll have to do his calculations and see how much fuel he needs to get to the end of this race, because obviously the less fuel you have, the more faster you'll get. So that's what racing at home and some of these other guys that are on.
Indeed. Well, still Ethan up there in 9th position, doing an okay job right now. Jam in 5th position, Slicker still in 4th. This battle's still going on right now, and that's a lap car, I believe, in between these guys, and that's Jazzman. Who's that in front of him, I'm wondering? Well, no longer in front of him there, because one of them getting out of the way there. Jam's still closing up on Slicker. Has to still go defensive to the inside. He knows he's there. He has to just sit back and enjoy it. And again, no way, Jose, you coming through around the outside. There he goes. And more beautiful defending between those two drivers, Jess. And these two are going to be battling, I imagine, throughout the rest of this race.
Yep, they are. So Jam versus...
But, Jess's mic, again, might be off there, of course.
Oh, for God's sake.
Still, like, Jam hunting down and trying to find any type of gap he goes, but still, Slicker holds his line, holds his pace. He's doing good. He's doing what he needs to be doing. And so far, he is doing a beautiful job.
Can you hear me, Evil?
That. Yes, I can. He's doing a good job holding that 4th. So, welcome back, Jess, again, by the way, for, again, but still, a little bit of teething issues here and there, so we're getting used to, by the way, as well, because if you don't know, me and Jess will be streaming the G3 season, all of it done on Discord as well, so it'll be nice and press. You get this beautiful voice of mine, which probably sounds a bit different than it did just 2 weeks ago.
And graphics, lovely graphics at the bottom.
Yes, we've got the nice shiny stuff as well. And I like shiny stuff. Shiny stuff is cool. Well, still, Slicker flashing his lights there slightly. I'm not sure what that was too, but Jam still closing up. I wonder if that was a flash of lights maybe to indicate he's coming in the pillar. I doubt so because he's got 14 litres. But Jam, a little bit less fuel. Trying to close up bit by bit. As the top guys, it's starting to close up a little bit, Jess, because that gap's now 6.7 seconds there. So about 7-6 seconds, it's closing up a little bit. Jam still can't find any way through on the circuit. He's still just stuck behind the car of Slicker. Meanwhile, we'll have a little look at the penalties at more screen here. So down the back, quite a few of them on 3 seconds. The top guys there have all got 1 second. Rotary on 3. The only one driver on 3 is Derry McCoy down the back.
Ah, quite a lot of drivers actually, apart from Jazzman, Jam, Wim, Essa, and
Racy as well, and Devil and Matt down the back. Matt, though, he's still got one more pit stop to do after his issue on the wrong tyres, but interesting to see what he can do later on, if he can get a few more positions, see if we get into a top 10. Meanwhile, I'm finding it quite interesting that we've got Ethan still together with Racing at Home as Esso comes in the pit lane, and that will be for his scheduled stop. Now he's almost a lap ahead of Ethan. That just really shows you how far back these guys are. Ethan, he'll put himself on the same lead lap, but I don't think, Jess, he's going to get marked more than at least 8th or 9th.
yeah, he's on the back foot right now, but due to no fault of his own, so he's just got to get his head down, and surely he'll be focusing on the next race more, I think, but he's got a job at hand. Points are points at the end of the day, and he's got to try and make head or tail of it at the moment. Meanwhile, Evil, we got another pit stop of Jam. So he's coming in for his scheduled stop. And I'm noticing it's getting a bit brighter as well.
Coming in yet again, but let's find out where he comes out. He should come out. Oh no, if he does that, has he missed his pit box? He has missed his pit box. Oh dear, Jam. That's not going to do it. We caught that this time, and it's a common thing there as in goes the fuel into not actually going in actually there. Dear. It's nearly going in. It's a bit more there, and you'll be going straight in there, but just a little bit too far out. So bad, and now he gets the fuel in. 66.9 litres of fuel should be enough to take him to the end of this race. Jazzman in the pits as well from 3rd position then, or 2nd then, just Tinnis takes up the mantle. So, like we said, Jazz, it will be around about 40 minutes to go when everyone comes in. So I think Ethan's going to have to save a bit of fuel, you know, still.
Yeah, I think so. He's, I think
he's actually yet to come in.
No.
Oh, no, there we go. Oh, there you go. The fuel reset itself there. So for some reason, it's only so 12 litres there. Now it went up to 66 on my screen. So apologies for that one. We're going to see Foggy in the chat. In the graphics looks cool, and he's saying Slicker's doing a beautiful job up. Slicker, if my calculations are correct, probably he's going to stay out another lap, I imagine, or two before coming in the pit lane. Indeed, it does seem so.
Yep, that's what he's going to do, and he's going to try and do it. And Jazzman's in the pits as well, as he's...
exiting.
Yep, and he's going to try and make up to see if he can undercut Tinnis and Jetix as well. So we'll see how that goes towards the end of the race.
Yeah, look at Jetix pace though. He's starting to really drop at 37s right now. He's starting to struggle. Last lap for Tinnis as well, a 1 minute 35. In between them, they've got 1, 2, 3 lap. Well, that's 2 lap cars there actually. So if I was Jetix right now, I would be considering coming in the pit lane because you won't be caught out too much right now as someone going in the pit lane. That's Wim Stratus in the pit lane. I think someone else coming in as well. But Tinnis slamming on the brakes there, getting it slowed down. That's Lava down the back coming in the pit lane as well. So that's the car you can see there, the red and white liveried car coming in for his scheduled stop as well. So Jazzman should, in theory, reclaim that 2nd position. Now the question is, though, how much closer can he get to the leader? Because Lee are taking a second lap out of him, of course, and Jetix having a little bit of traffic right now. It's just kind of the situation where if I was him, I'd be coming in the pit lane now. You do not want to be caught up behind the car, and I'm working who that is. That must be the car of Jerome then. It is the car of Jerome. He's ahead of him right now with 17 liters. He'll be going for a couple more laps right now. So if I was him, I'd be coming in on this lap so he doesn't lose time behind these slower back markers.
Yep, he's got to really, because otherwise he's going to lose a lot of time. He's going to make up for. He's going to try and make up for last time. And Jerome spun. Jerome spun in the gravel. That is not what you want to do, and that has lost him even more time, Evil.
Well, I was about to say he does want to iron, but well, he doesn't have to now, Jess, because I cursed it again. He's spun.
Typical.
Well, meanwhile,
Commentator's curse.
Look at these two. Look at these two close together again still. And Tinius has gone off the road. I think they was collided there. Tinius got a mega run then. They must have came out together then at the pit lane. So Tinius and Jazzman getting awfully close on the exit of the pit lane. Whilst we're still waiting for Jetty to come in. Now he's staying out a bit more to do the overcut because he'll have less fuel, be quicker. But he doesn't need to be getting caught behind cars. Next car's to him, luckily. That'll be the car of Matt Devil racing at home and everyone else up the road. So he'll still be happy down there. Lava's still in the pit, so he's got damage, we believe. He's just exiting on cue, actually. So, there's that. But Tinus, a little bit too close to comfort at the back of Jazzman there. And Jazzman, I don't think liking seeing Tinus so close up his rear pipe right now, I imagine.
No, he's definitely not. And he's going to... Yep, Arese in the pits for one final stop. He's probably have done some calculations, Evil, to see how much he's got to do until the end. So we'll have to wait and see if his calculations pay off. And we've got another Slicker pit in as well.
Slicker in as well for his scheduled stop. So he'll keep going, and that will release the car of Jazzy and the car of Tinus away then for their next battle then. Right now, the last thing these two need to do is battle. Now, in theory, these two now should be able to jump ahead of Jetix, who we believe should be taking his start. So we believe he didn't take them earlier on, and that is the reason why he was leaving this race for most of the second stint. In the third stint now, we believe that Tinus and Jazzman should, and we use this as a big pinch of salt, should now take the lead of this race, as now we believe Jetix will be pitting for a new set of tyres. However, he's leaving that fuel very late, and he should be in the pit around about 0.8 of a litre.
Yeah, that is a gamble from Jetix. I mean, but he wants to be in a situation where he could be running on less fuel and he could be mega quick on the straights and corners, and that would really help him and less benefit Jazzman and Tinus. So if Jetix plays his cards right, that'll be a good strategy for him. But this could go all wrong for him at all fronts as well. So, you know, it could go both ways, Evil.
Indeed, it could go both ways, but meanwhile, Ethan catching up to Racy then in 8th position, a little bit there. So the last lap 36, of course, Racy came in, so we'll see the next couple of laps what his true pace is. In between them is, I believe, the car of, it must be Lava. It is Lava in between them there, and the number 16 place on the grid, and the number, it's hard to say because I can't see it there, but it's a number of some description. But of course, a little bit hard to spot the numbers. The car behind that is Ethan catching at a rate of knots, I must say, I believe. That is Ethan, I'm pretty certain. They're only about 7 seconds off, so yeah. Ethan catching. In fact, no, it's one more car in between them, I believe. So I'm trying to see who that is in between all of them. So quite a few cars very close to each other.
Yep, it's getting to the calm before the storm, Evil, where...
Jetix in. 0.4 litres in the tank then. So, but very close to my prediction then.
Yeah, it is quite close actually. Calm before the storm, and Jetix just about gets into the pit lane. We'll see what Jazzman can do to get the best in lap he can on his first lap on those set of tyres. I think he changed both fuel and tyres, didn't he?
I think he's not. So I think he's gone for. He chased them earlier on, stinting these tyres now. Then. And look, he's already leaving the pit, and this is going to be awfully close. Actually, it's not going to be awfully close. He's going to be miles ahead. Actually, I think he is going to be miles ahead. He's coming out the pit lane now. I think no, not now. So he'll have the run down the thing. Now he's exiting it. So
Oh, yeah, he's done it. He's in the lead again. That is a timely strategy from Jetix. I mean, that was very close. It could have been close to disaster, but it was. He saved fuel, Evil, and that helped him.
Yeah, he's going to continue onwards now. He's going to be slightly slower because remember he's running a lot more fuel by about 10 litres. That might cost her about 0.5 of a second a lap. So by calculations, it will take around about half an hour if they're catching up by 0.5 of a second a lap to close up before the end of the race. So don't cut the chickens yet. Remember, there still could be drama later on. Meanwhile, Devil in the pit lane for damage, we believe, or coming in for a pit stop. No, that is for damage because you can see the car weaving there slightly. So he's got damage there, we believe. He must have slightly tapped the wall somewhere on the circuit. As past there goes some other cars. That must be of Derry McCoy, who's now in 14th position so far. He is a lap down ahead. That'll be Slicker, I believe, coming to lap him as Derry McCoy gets himself right out of the way through turn number 1. So we believe Jetix has maybe changed his... We do not believe Jetix changed his tyres, actually. We believe Jazzman has changed his tyres, but of course it's a bit hard to see for certain on the strategies there. But now I suppose Jazz will see the pace, especially in their lap times, the first couple of the laps out. If Jetix's lap times are around about the 35s, then we believe, of course, he has changed tyres. If they're in 37s, we believe he has not. Well, Jazzman right now is setting very much low 36s. We believe he has definitely changed those tyres.
Yeah, I think so. It just goes to show we don't know much about strategy, Evil.
Yeah, of course we can't see for certain, of course, because the animations don't show us the tyre changes to be sure. But then again, it was about 9 seconds before, so we believe... In fact, we believe he must have had to change the tyres or something. We're not too certain, but on what strategy's going on. But that gap now, 5 seconds. And Jetix needs to be getting a move on. We'll see in these first couple of laps, so Jess, because it's his first full flying lap. There's all the dirt getting kicked up on the side of the circuit. It's really proving quite difficult for these drivers, I imagine. Still, though, there's 16 drivers in the race.
Oh yeah, there we go. But I had it on mute there because I was having a bit of a frog in my throat. Sorry about that, guys. Typical. The first stream I do with Evil on AOR and my voice is going. So there is a cold that's going everywhere around Britain at the moment, so it's not really a surprise, to be honest. But anyway, Lava down in last place. So Chris has ahead of him somehow, which is great. He's not last anymore, and I think he'll be pretty pleased with that after the race he has had so far in this race. And Derry is doing quite well. Devil is down in 13th, so he's got a lot of catching up to do, but he's got no penalties though, so that is good news for him. Jazzman 5 seconds behind Jetix, so Jazzman's getting some time.
This is crucial, Jess. Lap times 1 second a lap quicker. 1 whole second. He is going to catch him quickly. Jetix hasn't changed. Jetix, we do not believe has changed his tyres then. And we potentially believe Jazzman and Tinners may have changed the tyres because surely that gap cannot be coming down that quickly.
Otherwise. No. He's smashing it, Jazzman. I mean, if we could see a masterclass like that, then he could win this race. We thought that Jetix was going to win, but game on, get your popcorn out, ladies and gentlemen, because this is where the action will take place. Ethan, though, he's in 9th place and he could gain 8 soon. If he can try and gain a position. There he goes on Aresi then.
The outside of 130 yards. Is he doing? That's brave. That's very brave from Ethan. They're right around the outside of 130 yards. And had to take a bit of avoiding action there on the curbs as Aresi almost get on the curbs as well. He almost flew himself off the road. But Now, look, Aracy's saving fuel, we believe, actually. Look, he's not using full fuel, so he's got that car in, I believe, lean mix, potentially. But right round the outside, that has got to be some very good skill indeed. However, we'll see if that got him a penalty, of course, later on.
Yeah.
Let's do it now. Let's see if he's got any penalties for that. Only 3 still. But again, look, Jetix 38-0. Jazzman 36-1. Tinus 36.5. Almost 2 seconds that lap out of him. And, well, we thought at the rate they were going 0.5 a second they'd be catched by the end of the race. Well, by the rate they're going, I think they'll be catching by the end of the next 2-3 laps. As a huge gaggle of cars come in the pit. That will be Matt. That's Jerome in the pit lane. And we've got Derry McCoy in the pits as well, taking on field. So I'm wondering, has there been some trouble there? Because they're all coming. We know Matthew's coming for a scheduled stop. No, Derry McCoy out there. Ooh, not damaged. Almost spun it into the pit wall there, actually, for good cause there on the exit of the pit, so don't be doing that too much. Again, back to your leaders, by the way. I'm just checking. Only 1 second for first, third, and fourth. The gap is what, 2.7, 2.8 seconds there, balancing. So Jazzman's getting a move. In fact, that is Jazzman in the background, and as well Tinners. This is going to be interesting, Jazz, before the end of this race, because it's still raining. It's getting heavier and heavier.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well, Evil. And it's brighter as well, so the tyre temperatures are going to increase quite a bit. So, have you noticed that, Evil, that it's got a bit brighter? Or it might be.
Yeah, it's definitely got brighter as the day goes on, of course. Time for question is definitely on, as your poor voice. I feel so sorry for you. Your poor voice is turned into, what can be described as a Dalek.
Look, yeah, it looks like I won't be doing a show tomorrow then. Oh, God.
As out the pit lane comes one car getting out of the way. That would be, must have been Matt getting out the pit lane. It was Matt getting out the pit lane there. Then he's behind Tinus, down in 11th position. I'm still wondering, has Ethan got enough fuel to go to the end of this race? And that is the question I'm wondering, because 42 litres, he should be just on the level. And if I was him, I'd be kind of putting it down in Lee mix now and just saving a little bit of fuel here and there, because he doesn't. He'll run out, I think. If he's going to be low with around about 2 laps to go. I think that's what my prediction is, Jess. I think he'll run out of fuel about 2 laps to go. That is Jerome, I believe, spinning off the circuit there and taking the Rallycross route. Indeed it was. As in the background there is going to be a Racy, and then behind him that will be Lava.
Lava! That's not how you take 130R.
That's Spoon. Nearly
Spoon,
130R, my friends.
Yeah, sorry. Literally, it's hardcore. This is a fictional circuit that is taking some aspects of Suzuka out, but obviously, you know.
And really bumping over those curves as well as Lava. You want to be careful as well. We don't really mention it. We go on board with someone through the last corner. We'll go on board with Matthew, figuring he's the one. Look on the right here and just realise, if you turn in too sharply, look what you have to deal with. Remember, at 170 miles an hour, if you hit those sausages, you are in for a very bumpy ride, I might say. And I've been fortunate to hit them in previous leagues and previous seen other drivers in GT3, for example, hitting them. And I could tell you, as well from fun racing, you don't want to be hitting those sausages, because sausages are not nice for a LMB car that runs nice and swish to the ground.
Yeah, I've seen some people aquaplaning again as they're going through the circuit. Yeah, definitely right there. So it is getting trickier and trickier as racing at home. He did a bit of a slide there, but he's kept the car under control.
You can just hear the revs just skyrocket upwards. They go through the puddles there, and that is causing these drivers issues. There is a Racy now coming to lap. That'll be Jerome, of course. Those two there. 36.8 v 36.3, of course, up front. So those two starting to equalise the pace now as Jetix's car starts to come alive. A bit more right now, but of course, that gap is now really bubbling on that 2-second window. And you can just see it now closing up. And these guys, look at the amount of lap cars they've got, Jess. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars in the next, 5, 6 laps are going to start coming across.
Yeah, we will see them coming across very, very soon. We've got 23 minutes to go. Let us know in the chat who you think's going to win the race out of Jetix and Jazzman. 2.4 seconds now, the gap. Oh, it is cutting tension with a knife here, Evil. I don't know literally who's going to win. It's going to come down to, I think, the very last lap at this rate if it keeps going like this.
I mean, well, I'm just noticing something's going on at turn number 1. We've got a racy, suddenly there, we've got a racy racing at home, and someone else going very slowly. That's Lava. It's Lava racing at home, a racy, and we believe Matt as well. He's behind these guys. So that is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. And the leaders, by the way, if you're wondering where they are, there's Jetix right in the middle of all this lot, and he's ready. Oh, there's car about a rear ring right in front of them all, actually. One car about a rear ring, and this gap suddenly shot right down. Something's going on there, Jess, because Jazzman is closed right up, and I'm not sure what happened there, because we've seen so many cars going wide. You've got so much going on there. Rotary right now, that's Ethan battling away with the racing.
Oh, my word! Someone's
in...
bumper is gone at the back, which was behind Rotary, actually. I wasn't sure who it was.
A racy, that must have, I'm not sure who exactly that was. A racy line getting lapped, but a lot of lap cars right now in the middle of this field. Jetix right now has only got one more to pass, and I did say they were all going to be coming on to other cars, and well, it's turning into a bit of a banger race right now for these lap cars. And in the pit lane comes, I'm wondering who that is. That's racing at home. I'm wondering if that damage he's done. No, that's fuel, so he's not going to make it to the end. But now 1.5 seconds. Took another second out of him. And these lap cars have really helped him, but I'm wondering what on earth was all going on down there.
Yeah, and don't forget, endurance races, they're not like your usual sprint races where you, like, most people are racing in project cars for about an hour or so. This is 2 hours, and so, you know. Oh, Lava is having an issue. Is it Evil? Look at this.
Lost the front, yeah, he's lost the front nose. So I think that was the car we saw behind Ethan, who went off, we believe. But of course we cannot say for certain, as they all go past the pit lane now, as Racing Home was in the pit lane. That was for fuel as well. He's got enough now to the end of the race. Ethan on 33 litres, 20 minutes, 23 litres. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close between those two. But again, look up front, 1.3 seconds. So it's closing. And Jetix, who's rather redeemed himself from that mistake he had earlier on. He's managed to get himself right back up there in contention of this race. Let's see if he can win it still. And it's going to be close. And remember, these top three are all still going to be closing up on each other. And remember, any one of these three, if any of these guys have contact, Slick is only 48 seconds behind. So anything can still happen.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, this is going to be really tense for Tinnis.
Jetix got an issue. Jetix got an issue. Something's wrong with Jetix. He's got an issue. Something's gone wrong.
He got caught in traffic. He got caught in traffic. That's what happened, Evil.
And I just noticed it just then. Whilst we were looking at it, he suddenly slowed right down then, right in front of everyone, and in the pit lane, and Jazzman lead.
Yeah, I see him go quite a bit there. I mean,
I'm not sure what happened there. He suddenly just slowed right down in front of everyone there. I'm just looking at you back on the stream. He wasn't caught in traffic. He just slowed right down in front of everyone.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake there. That's going to cost quite a few points because we've got 4th place catching up, and Tinnis as well is now in seconds. Tinnis is now 1.4 seconds. We thought Jazzman has it in the bag, but don't forget, Tinnis has got a penalty. I think it's 1 second, I believe. So, you know, he's got...
What's happened to Jetix? He must have... I don't know if he got damaged or something there. We didn't see it. Because he suddenly slammed on the brakes. He was going full throttle, then suddenly braked.
It looked crazy, Evil. Absolutely crazy. So
I'm not sure what happened there. But what that means is... Slicker's on a podium right now, and Jam's in 4th. So that's kind of helping poor Jetix right now. Slicker's on a cast for a podium, and that'll be a driver of the day, I must say, for him. if he manages to get it. I'm still wondering as we've got Chris in the pit lane then. He's exited the pit lane down the back and him with Lava, the back of the field, of course, 10 minutes off the leaders. And very, very peculiar indeed. 1 second now between these two drivers. Out comes Chris there. Tinnis now closing up to Jazzman, who very much had to take a riding action very suddenly there, right in front of everyone else.
I mean, we thought this race won't get any crazier. It is getting crazier, Evil. I mean, you know, 1 minute we thought someone had it in the bag of Jetix. Yeah. Now he's in 5th place. Then we thought Jazzman. Now Tinnis could be in with a shot of winning. This is insane. We haven't seen anything like it in endurance racing. This is kind of reminds me of 2016, 2017, or even 2018 Le Mans, where people are just crashing left, right, and centre, all having mechanical issues. So this could be the case here. And Tinnis, you can see that Tinnis wants this race win. He's pushing every last fibre of his being to get that race victory. I know he's got a penalty, but he could force Jazzman into a mistake, and that could be the difference.
Indeed, it very much could be. So we'll find out in a while, of course, what is the outcome of this race. But meanwhile, 17 and a bit minutes still to go for all the drivers, and anything still can happen ahead of everyone, of course. But 6 tenths between these two, as my TV's just turned off there, and I can no longer see what's going on. So back in a minute whilst I quickly try and fix that.
At the moment, we're just riding on board with Tinnis. At the moment, we're just on board with Tinnis. Oh, Tinnis! Gone wide! Is that game over for Tinnis? It might be. Lost a bit of time to Jazzman, so he was close up there, but he's starting to gain a bit more, so it is not over yet. So, yeah, this is getting intense, I'm sure, between Tinnis and Jazzman, but Jazzman has got to get... Oh! What's happened? I don't know what's happened, but Evil's TV's turned off, so we can't see what's happened behind. Someone has got damaged, but we don't know who. Evil, are you back? Back, are you Evil? I think he's gone. Yeah, apparently for what happened to Jetix, he lost the car in the last corner and hit the barrier, almost hit Jazzman. So, yeah, that was very, very unfortunate. So, yeah. I don't know how this is going to work because I'm not the director, I'm the broadcaster. So, Evil is trying to... oh, yeah, we're back. We're back. Okay, that's good.
TV mended.
Back, are you Evil? Evil, are you back?
Yes, I am back again. My TV turned off. I think my controller, I think it might be my battery or my remote ran out and turned my TV off. But very odd. Meanwhile, though, I was looking at it. Tinnis getting very much closer to Jazzman, and that 5-10 seconds. So this race is not over. Slicker, if these two come together, might have a chance of winning this race, you know.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. I know I've said that so many times, but you know, this could make a difference between leading or losing a championship at this stage. There's 10 rounds. We've had 1 round a few weeks ago. This is the second. And Tinnis is 3rd in the championship, I believe.
Yes, he is, if I'm not mistaken, as I'll switch over to... Actually, you can, if you can have a look at the standings, actually, whilst we're here, whilst I look at these battles going on so far, but still Jazzman and Tinnis up front in this race, doing a fantastic job right now. Meanwhile, Jerome down the back in the pit lane, he's got damage again, so he's gone off somewhere.
That is just not just damage, that is a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. Sorry for talking you over. I was just like a bit shocked about the damage.
I wonder what has happened to get that much damage. Meanwhile, Ethan is behind. I'm trying to see who that is. He's closing up on. It's not one of the guys ahead of him, we believe. It might be Jetix, actually. It is Jetix, actually. And Ethan closing on Jetix right now. And this has got to be a bit awkward for Ethan because he's catching the former leader. And Ethan's pace right now, 39 there. So we don't know exactly if he's let the car through, but he definitely wants that car to be moving onwards, I imagine.
Yeah.
Jetix is struggling.
Yes, he is. I think his the pressure that got to him after he hit the top of the barrier has pretty much affected his race. As
Jerome's
someone's in the gravel.
Jerome's retired from the session, we believe. That's our first retirement with just 30 minutes to go. It's Jerome, and that's caused, I think, Ethan to go off the road. Did that not there? I think it did. Whilst I was looking there, so Jerome causing Ethan to run a little bit wide with a little bit. Well, that can happen as he fly past the circuit. Of course, if you don't know, a key characteristic of this circuit is it loops over itself.
Yeah, I'm liking this circuit in the way it flows a little bit there, but obviously when we get to the next track in 2 weeks' time, we probably may see more overtaking. What is the next track, Evil? Do you know?
As far as I'm aware, I believe it is going to be. I think it's Bathurst, maybe. It's not Bathurst. I don't believe. I'll have a little look.
Check in. Check soon, yeah. Check soon, but it's not crucial at the moment though. And Slicker, he's a little bit off the pace at the moment, but he's gone for a podium. I mean, he's probably not expecting him for a podium, but there's a few people that are rooting for Slicker in the chat, so including Foggy, saying that Slicker's done a good job so far, so he'll probably be pleased with that. Tinnis is about 8 tenths behind Jazzman, and I'm losing my voice again. That's not really helping, is it? And you know, Slicker's lost a bit of time there, 2 seconds though, so but we'll have to wait and see. As we've got 12 minutes to go of the session, so it's a home stretch for these guys now.
Indeed. Well, good news, everybody. I got it correct. It's Bathurst next. Well, in 2 weeks' time.
Oh, that's going to be chaos.
Bathurst, and then ahead of Sonoma, and then, of course, ahead of the Nürburgring combined layout. So that's going to be interesting as well, of course. Then we go, of course, to what's considered Spa Francorchamps, and then, of course, down to Daytona for a 2.4-hour race. Before then, heading over to Mugello and ending the season at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Of course. As well, and that will be on the beautiful of the 12th of June, just around about 2 weeks, give or take, before the real life race begins as well. So hopefully everyone's looking forward to that one with 11 minutes to go. Like top two are separated by just under 1 second.
Yeah, indeed. So I think Tinnis is saving a bit of fuel there, but I think he's got plenty of fuel to last. Evil? I'm not entirely sure. I can't do maths.
25 litres. Jazzman's got 21 litres. Ethan's got 16 litres, and he goes past. That's Jetix up the inside there. Jetix who's struggling, and no wonder he's struggling. Ethan's pace 36 flat, actually. I'm going to enjoy that. 36. Oh, someone off there. Who's that? Is that,
I don't know. I couldn't tell who that was, Evil.
Was that a racy? Wasn't a racy. I'm trying to see who that was. Someone. It was a red car, I know that from us. Was it Lava? It wasn't Lava, but do hold for a few moments. It's Terry McCoy.
Oh, right, okay. That's Terry then. Alright, I didn't know that.
That looks to me like something's very wrong with that car, because look at that, it's pulling around, of course. Suspension damage. And that's the leaders coming straight through. And this is a really awkward place. Look at him, he's right in. Lets him through. And this is not going to help. He's just going to get a brilliant opportune angle. As I thought there was contact nearly then, but it wasn't. Tinnis just managing to get past there.
So Tinnis, I think he had to go past at the moment. Otherwise he would have been stuck in a lot more traffic, and Jazzman would have just been like, boom, see you later, Hulkenberg style, I must say. Hint, Hulkenberg should have stayed in F1 this year, but anyway, getting back on track, and yeah, this is the crucial stage for these guys. Some people will be fuel saving, some people will be pushing, some people will be doing a bit of both. One person I know will be doing fuel saving is the guy in 8th place, VSR Rotary, aka Mr. Ethan. So, you know, I mean, it's a bit of a push, I think, Evil, if he wants to make it to the end. But Tinnis, look at the speed he's gaining.
He's got a mega run. This is enough for time then. He has to go the long way around there. That'd be brave on Jazzman. Jazzman's going to cover it. Can surely. Tinnis went around the outside of turn 1. He has to back off that one there. He thought of it. He's not going to do it though. Tinnis tries. Jazzman defends it of all his might right now. He's got 8 minutes of this. He's got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 laps, I think. 4 laps, 5 laps, I believe. Give or take.
Yeah.
About 5, 6 laps left of this race. He has to defend with what can only be described as not a lot of fuel.
That is not a lot of fuel. Oh, 12.2. Oh.
I don't think Jazzman's got enough, you know.
I'm worried about Ethan more than Jazzman. He's got 12.2.
I'm not sure if anyone in the chat, Michael or Fogarty, you know about how much fuel the LMP2 cars use as a lap, but I think it's about 2 litres a lap, so he's getting very close.
No, if Jazzman saves, I think he's going to be fine.
Wherever it is, it's going to be very on the limit. So this race is not over yet. There could be more drama. He could still come in the pit lane, I think he's got enough just.
Yeah, we could see a situation where, remember in the first round of GT3 last season, where someone ran out of fuel on the line?
Yeah.
And Jazzman won?
I remember that. Oh, Tinnis is off! Tinnis is off! He's lost it! He's off the road! He's off the road! He's lost it! He's out of control! He's spun the car! And that is surely now Tinnis has dropped it again. Jazzman now, look, he'll be saving fuel. He'll be on the fuel save now. And now he'll very much be saving all the fuel he can around the circuit. But Tinnis, he went wide. He's on the curb and he's lost it.
Did I just jinx it, Evil?
I think we both jinxed it. Slicker up there in 3rd position. But crucial. And that is crucial for Jazzman now. He now can save the fuel. He can just cruise himself now to the end of the race in the next 6 minutes.
Oh my word, I thought this race was going to go down to the wire between Jazzman and Tinnis. It's all over now, which is a shame, but it...
Never say never, Jazz.
No, never say never. Jazzman.
Never.
Jazzman could be pushing. He doesn't need to push now. He could be on the safe fuel mode. So I think Jazzman can breathe a little bit of sigh of relief now. As
Wim Stratos has got an issue. I just saw Mike. Thank you, Mike, for spotting that one there. But Wim Stratos had a massive off there somewhere on the circuit. That is Ethan now up to 7th position. He's not got enough fuel, I don't believe, to finish this race. He is having a look on Essa meanwhile. So, from one car battling, we now go switching, flying over to another one. So, on cue then. So, issues for one car. That's Jetix actually up the road ahead of Ethan. So, Ethan right now just stuck behind and saving fuel, I imagine. But, with Stratos, who's lost it in a very... I think he beats it. No, he's got himself back going. I'm not sure what's happened there with Wim, but he's lost the rear wing. Whilst we were looking at the issues up the road. So that is going to be a big disappointment for poor Wim Stratos for that. And the Visceral team there, of course, Ethan in the other car, running on fumes.
Oh, I'm worried for him. I'm worried for him.
He knows. He's got 7.5. It's 2 litres a lap. We've got what? So if 2 laps is what, about 3 minutes, give or take? About 1 minute 40. So just under 2-3 minutes, about 3.5 minutes. So it's 2 laps, and using about 2 litres a lap. He should have enough, I think.
Oh, that's a relief. That is a relief.
Don't quote me on that.
I think yeah, Jazzman should be fine as well. So I think that's what Foggy said as well. So thanks, Foggy, for the useful information. And if it stays like this, if Jazzman could save for Britain or wherever he's from, then he would extend his lead by quite a lot in the championship, because the guy in second, Jetix, he is all the way down in 5th place.
Yep, Jazzman, of course, the South African driver, if I'm not mistaken. He currently lives in the rough area of Qatar, if I'm not too mistaken either. It's a beautiful city, I must say. Doing a beautiful job up there in the lead of this race. Comfortably driving, comfortably holding it. Dominated the first race because of someone else's mistakes called Tinnis, who spun the car. Looks like he's going to win the second race because Tinnis spun the car. And a common trend now with 3 minutes to go. Ethan's 5 litres. This is getting a bit close.
Oh my God. I mean, Ethan,
got
don't give
41
me
seconds.
10. Don't.
He's got 41 seconds behind. He can slow, he can lift, he can cruise now. Yeah, look at him. He's not even putting half throttle on right now. He's got a massive gap behind. If I was Ethan right now, I would just be cruising right now. He's not got enough. He's definitely not got enough. He's got what? He's going to have to come in. He won't have enough.
No, he's got to. He's got to. I don't think he's going to... Oh, I'm just looking at the times. I think 9th would be all right for him right now. You know.
I'm trying to see. He might actually be lapped, actually. He's not lapped. The car, actually, the leader's coming up on him, actually. This actually might work out in his favour.
Yeah, indeed. Never say never. We've seen quite a few dramas already in this Endurance League, in particularly tonight, and we may see more in Bathurst. I must say, Evil, the guys who were involved in incidents today...
He's coming in. He's coming in. He has to. He had to. Sorry to cut over you, Jess, but Ethan has to come in. He's got 3 litres. He won't do it. Do you know what I said? He'll run out of fuel about 2 laps. He's run out of fuel about 2 laps. Now, I think he should be okay enough. He should be able to put about 5 litres in the tank if he's done his calculations. He should be able to get out ahead of a racy pretty comfortably. So he should be able to put about 5 litres in.
Yeah, indeed. His pit stop won't be long at all. 12.9. Yeah, he should be fine. I thought he would have put less than that, but I'm guessing he wanted to play it safe, Evil.
Yeah, must play it safe. Doesn't want to risk it there, so he'll get to the line. That 2 minutes to go, so we've just got 2 laps. And Jazzman, who is going to have, who if my calculation has 3 laps left, he should have finished for about 1.0 litres. He's going to finish very low on that fuel tank. So Jazzman, like again, he can play a bit safe. Look at the tinner, so he's catching what, 4 seconds a lap. Whilst Jazzman saving fuel, nice 38.999 as well. Really saving that fuel. Tinnis has still got a chance of catching as Jazzman's limping.
Oh, is he struggling?
He's struggling in the fuel. You have enough. Now you'll have enough. He's just making sure, like, you can see, he looks favouring the fuel. He's got that on lean mix as well. And I don't think he'll be caught, so he'll have enough now to finish the race. We've got 1 lap to go. Now.
He's lifting and coasting, I can tell. You can see how he's approaching it.
Not full throttle either, so he's definitely taking it gentle, but he will have enough fuel as he's got that gap around about 9 seconds there, give or take. So he will finish this race pretty comfortably there in the margin. Jam, meanwhile, is caught himself back up the Slicker, so those two are still not over on the battle for third position. So can Jam, is Jam going to take Slicker's podium right? Oh, I can't believe if he does. That'd be
my word!
Come on, Slicker. I mean,
he will. Slicker's got a penalty.
He does. Well, that's put a spanner in the works. But let's see, anything will happen, of course. Jam can still go off the road. We've got 35 seconds. The leader on the final lap of this race with literally 2 litres of fuel left. So he's cutting it like a fine biscuit right now.
Not digestives. That's my favourite.
Not digestive biscuits, but any biscuits. I like digestives as well. But other biscuits are available.
Exactly. Like, well, I'm not going to say anything more. Otherwise, then we got more important things to worry about. We've got Jam versus... Oh, no, not Jam. Yeah, we do have Jam, actually.
Jam versus Slicker. I was also looking through the field to see where the leaders were. And they're coming through towards Spoon right now then. So, Jazzman, somehow through all of this, might just about win this race with literally 0 fuel.
Wow.
Look how slow he's going. He's not pushing this. He's short shifting. He's doing anything he can. He's flashing his lights. He knows he's pretty much got it. But he's gone to be such a low fuel tank there. I cannot believe it. So low fuel. So nothing left in the tank. He's going to finish with under 0.7 of a litre. Through he comes then. Through the last corner. 0.8 of a litre. 0.6 of a litre it'll be across the line. Jazzman wins here in Sakitto. He wins a Japanese Grand Prix with 0 fuel in the tank.
Oh my
across
word.
the line, Tinnis with also very little in the tank as well, I must say. Then comes the battle, Slicker and Jam. The gap is 0.6 of a second. The penalty is 1 second as well. Is he willing it on? Can he get a second? I don't think he can.
No, I don't think. But never say never, Evil. We could see Jam making a mistake. You never know. But Jam is pushing, you can tell. He's, oh, actually, no. 9/10. A second. Oh, this is going to be tense, Evil. Oh, I can't watch. This is going to...
He's got enough. I don't think he's got enough fuel.
What?
He's not got enough fuel. He's gonna run out of fuel, I think, just before the line. This is going to be close.
Let
he's
me do
gonna
this.
run out
Let
of
me
fuel
do
the
this,
line.
Evil. Let me do this, Evil. You've done the battle for the win. Let me do battle for the podium. Oh, no. Oh, Jam he's trying to find some time. Oh, Slicker's gone off. Slicker's gone off. Oh, no.
And he run out.
He's run out of fuel too! On the line! Slicker! He's made a crucial mistake. He was on shot for a podium. And he pushed so hard on that final lap. And it just costed him so much when he was meant to be saving fuel. Oh no, what a bad end to the race that must have been. But Jam on the podium. What a result for him. Brilliant stuff. We got Jetix in 5th, Essa, a great result for him in 6th, and VSR Rotary even in 7th, so a great comeback for him, and look at those penalties.
Well, Jazzman wins from Tinnis, then Jam ahead of Slicker, Jetix ahead of Essa, Rotary ahead of Racing at home ahead of Matthew, with Stratus over Devil, Chris in 13th, Derry McCoy in 14th, Laverin's 15th, and Jerome in 16th.
Yep, that's the only retirement, of course, of the race. Everyone else did finish, even though there were quite a few laps down for Lava, Derry McCoy, and Chris. But, you know, that was a good race, I think. Evil strategy did play a part. There was a few tense moments where we thought a few people run out of fuel, but Slicker, he was looking so good. Heartbreak moment there. Oh, God damn you. Who is your driver of the day, Evil?
Gotta give it to Slicker.
Yeah, I agree.
You only can give it to Slicker there. He's done a phenomenal job. Ethan as well, coming through from last to sixth, pretty much nearly again. Surely the driver of the day, but Jasmine, of course, winning the race.
Yep, well done to Jazzman. And I don't think we could get interviews because some of these guys do not have Discord, but we'll try and get that sorted for when the first GT3 race comes anyway, because we'll be using Discord pretty much every race after that. So, yeah, unless we could, because I don't have the cables to connect to the party at the moment. It'll take 5 minutes to set those up, but yeah.
Yes, indeed. So that would be a bit of a struggle for that one. So I suppose we will start to round the stream off, Jess, and I'll let you time.
Oh, thank you, Evil. Thank you. So Jazzman currently leads the championship at the moment. Will he keep his momentum going into Bathurst in a few weeks' time?
Hold on a minute. We do have, I believe, Ethan in the interview box. Can I drag him in?
Yeah.
Can I drag him in? I can drag him in here. Let's get him in. Let's see. I don't know if he can hear us, but I've managed to find Ethan and drag him in the thing. If he can hear us, say hello. I don't know if he can, but we'll see. I've dragged him in. We'll see if he can.
He probably doesn't know. He probably doesn't know.
We'll wait here patiently and see if he's there. But he managed to get into the box. As I joined the wrong chat accidentally there by accident. I didn't mean to do that. I mean, I joined the "You Ready for Interviews" chat, but let's just wait a few moments and see if Ethan picks us up on Discord for one interview. But we'll wait a few moments, and if he doesn't manage to do it, of course, then we shall not. Jess, what was your driver of the day?
I'll have to give it to Slicker as well. I think the audience, the viewers do agree with us as well, which is good news. So I think he drove superbly today. So a shame for that mistake. I think it was heartbreaking for him to make that mistake. So, you know, some great comebacks as well tonight. And, you know, oh, Ethan's gone. Let's drag him in again.
Let's see if I'm going to try it. We're going to see if we can get him in. I don't know if we can.
Yay! There we go.
We've got contact. So, Ethan, how did your race go? You came from the back of the grid. You started right down the back, got yourself up to 8, had some issue. We'll talk about that in a little while. And then drag yourself back up to 7th right at the end. So take us through the first bit before your incident.
Well, I mean, I just pretty much just sat at the back, just watching the race unfold in front of me. I know I had the pace from practice, lapping like 34s, 33s in practice. So obviously starting at the back, being disqualified from qualifying gave me the opportunity to practice the race alone, so I could really optimize my wet weather setup. Obviously I made my way through the field, was like battling with Jam for a few laps, and then I'm not really sure what happened. I came up that left-hander up the hill where the hairpin was supposed to be, and there was just a back marker in the middle of the road. I only just saw him through the spray, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if he returned to the track or not, but he clipped my rear left, nearly wiped out the rear axle. He nearly took off my tyre, and that would have been the end of my race. So I had a lot of damage, put me down the grid. I was so distraught. I drove angry, made a few mistakes, but I just kept on soldiering, and I gotta say, despite that, it was still a brilliant race.
Indeed. Well, I suppose, though, in the end of the day, Bathurst next, and you like Bathurst, Ethan. So, how are you feeling going into that race, you reckon?
Well, obviously, last time I raced at Bathurst in GT3, I nearly got the sacred W, the win. Obviously, that didn't happen because of a mass disconnection. Obviously, LMP2 is a lot different compared to GT3. The error is going to be crucial here. The way the car's set up is going to be very crucial. Obviously, I'm going to be starting further down the grid, so it's reverse grid. But once again, I just got to take my setup from here, just optimize it for Bathurst, because my setup here today was, I've got to say, the optimum setup for Sakitto. I'm going to try and optimize it for Bathurst because the car was really planted. Also, I can make a few good moves around the circuit, but Bathurst is Bathurst. You got to go in there with a pinch of salt and not going in there too optimistic. You never know what will happen.
Indeed. Well, back to you, Jeslo, and like I said before, we found Ethan in the ready to interview bit. You can round the stream off this week.
Okay, thank you guys so much for watching the second round of the endurance race, and hopefully maybe Jazzman can get the momentum that he has done this week and the last to see if he could take the important W at Bathurst. Will we see someone else take the win in Bathurst? We'll have to find out. Thank you to obviously Evil for letting me fill in tonight, and hopefully Vetra has rest well, and he will join Evil in the commentary box in a few weeks time along with Alex and Mr. Wolf as well. So hopefully these guys will be back as well, and thank you very much, Evil, for letting me in the box as well. It's been a lot of fun.
You're very welcome.
It's been a lot of
fun.
It's
been fun. And we'll see more of each other in about 3 weeks time as well, when GT3 starts again.
Yeah, for me anyway, you will see me when the next F1 season starts. But for the Project Car stream, Endurance, we'll see you in 2 weeks time. And for more GT3, we'll see you next Wednesday at 8 PM. Not GT3, Clio. All these leagues. What round is it, Ethan?
The final round. It is the final round at the Small Monza.
Alright, okay. So, we will see you soon for another Apex Online Racing stream. Have a good evening, everybody, and goodbye.